Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. This is How to Train a Speedrunner, a show dedicated to showing off beginner-friendly tutorials to help people get into speedrunning, to kind of show them that it is not as hard to get into as you might think. The barrier of entry is actually pretty low. Before we get into the game today, just a few quick reminders. Registration is live for Awesome Games Done Quick 2024. If you'd like to attend the event in person from January 14th through 21st, you can go to gamesdonequick.com for more information, including attendee registration and hotel booking. And you can also go check out the schedule over at gamesdonequick.com/schedule and let us know what you're looking forward to most. You can do that on Twitter, you can do it in the YouTube comments and chat right now, wherever you feel. You can let us know that as well. Also, Games Done Quick is hiring. If you are a business developer or have experience in recruiting sponsorships and would like to work for GDQ, you can go to apply at gamesdonequick.com/jobs. With all of that said, we are going to be learning Lunistice tonight. I'll hand it over to a runner, let him introduce himself and the game.
All right, what is up, everyone? My name is Nastani, and today we're going to be learning Lunistice 80% Glitchless. Now, just going over what that is, I'm just going to go ahead and hop into a save file that I've had. This is just my practice file. There are 7 worlds in this game. Essentially, the speedrun is going through all 7 worlds in order without any glitches. So there is a glitch if you down patch this game. We run on current patch, by the way, for this category. We run current patch, so you don't have to worry about that. But in regular 80%, you can down patch and basically skip Act 2 of every world, which we thought was lame. So we made a glitchless category, which is the main category of the game. And then, yeah, also, this game is $5 on Steam. So if you want to check it out, it's like a pretty low barrier to entry. That's all I'm saying. But with that being said, I don't know how much time this is going to take, so I'm just going to do the beginner tutorial first, and then if we have time, I'm going to go back and show you some more advanced stuff. We'll play it by ear, but first let's just hop into the game and let's see what the heck is going on. Lunistice is a platformer. It's literally, if you think of the word platformer and think of the most basic thing ever, this is what Lunistice is. That's not a knock on the game. I love the game. It's really cool. But so these cranes, they don't really do anything for us in 80% glitchless. They are just a hundo resource, as well as the letters on the top left side of the screen. Those are for true ending. So we don't have to concern ourselves with any of these things for 80% glitchless. All we have to concern about is getting to the end of the level and hitting the goal. Also, what's up, Claus? And so what is our movement options? So we have a couple movement options here. We have 2 jumps and we have an attack. We can use the attack mid-air to maintain height, so we have essentially a triple jump. And then the biggest piece of tech that we're going to use, and this is as complicated as it gets, is a spin jump, where we jump and then press the attack button right after. So like that, kind of just like this, where you can see I kind of just roll my hand on it. You can do this with the triggers. You could do this with the mouse if you're playing on keyboard and mouse. So you can play on controller, you can play on mouse. I personally play on controller just because I like playing platformers with controllers. You do have you can choose your height with jumps. So you can have a little short baby hop, or you can do a longer hop, right? And that goes with your spin jumps, right? So you can do like a little baby spin jump, you can do a big one, you can do like a kind of in the middle one, so you have full control over what you're doing. And you can also use these resources in any order in the air. They reset upon land. So you can jump, attack, jump, you can jump, attack, you can jump, spin jump, you can spin jump, right? You have whatever you want to do, you can do. And then for this game as well, you can die as many times as you want. Whenever you die, you will reset back to the checkpoint that you have received. You have unlimited deaths per level, so there's no game over, there's no nothing. You just play, you keep it going. So with that being said, I think that's all the bare bones that we need to get going. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to immediately start spin jumping, and we're going to do that. And we're going to land on this thing. Okay, we all have that, right? So what I like to do is just spin jump on this thing. It is important to note that if you are on the edge, you will just slide off, right? So just make sure you're getting all the way up here. I like to spin jump. This is my preferred method of doing it. So you'll see me do jump, spin, jump a lot, but you don't technically have to do that. It's just what I like to do. And a thing that you can do to practice is, again, just restarting the level. Oh, I guess I should talk about restarting the level. So, sorry, before we hop in, we time with IGT. So if you pause, the in-game timer in the top left pauses as well, right? So what you can typically do is if you're beginning a run on a brand new save file, which is what you're supposed to do, if you, let's say, miss that first jump, you can actually just restart level. And if you do that, like, and you're allowed to do that a couple times without having to like go back and restart the whole save file. But if you do that, your time will be additive, right? And I guess I can just kind of show that real quick by going to a new save file. So I'm going to go to a new save file. I'm going to skip this cutscene. And let's say I do this and we have like 2 seconds. I miss it. I die, like whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just restart the level. I have 6 seconds in the game. So I want to restart level and let's do this. And then we're going to be like around like 4 seconds. I exit level and you're going to see 10 seconds is on the in-game timer, right? So it's additive if you restart, which is why typically if you ever see me running this game, you'll see me deleting my save file upon reset. But that you don't really need to concern yourself with that unless you're going for like a really, really like top time. Otherwise, you can afford a couple seconds. But now let's get going. So again, we're going to do this jump, spin, jump motion to land up here and then land over here. That is our first kind of motion. I'm making it look easy, but it's pretty slippery. Like not the roof awning or anything. It's just like getting Hannah to go where you want her to go is kind of hard. But after you get there, we're just going to kind of go over here. We're going to jump on this thing and then we're going to spin jump to this rock and spin jump up here. And then that's going to be kind of our path. And so we'll do it one more time just for prosperity. And then we're just going to move on. So you're going to see me just jump, spin, jumping. I'm going to triple jump here, over here. I'm going to jump on this awning, or not awning, railing. And then we're just going to kind of go over here. And then now we're kind of going on. I'm going to intentionally hit this checkpoint. Again, if I reset the checkpoint or I die, I will spawn at this checkpoint, right? And then we are literally just going to walk in a straight line until the end. That is basically all the sauce in this level. It's all front and right at the very beginning, which is why this is a very reset heavy level, just for literally everyone. Because you mess up one thing, it's like might as well reset. You know, you're right there. Here you're gonna jump either to that crystal or up here, and then you're just gonna kind of make your way over here. Again, just utilizing that spin jump to gain the vertical momentum you need, and then you're just going to simply fall into the goal. And then also it's pretty easy to practice ILs as well if you have a practice file. So we're kind of just going to make our way through. The first couple levels are kind of sauceless, as I like to say. These are the beginning levels of the stages, and they just kind of teach you basic mechanics, right? And so a lot of this is just kind of like seeing where I go and then copying it. A thing to note though is that in certain places like right here, I'm gonna land on, well, I'm not gonna land. So you see, I was gonna try to land on that thing. But if you ever think that like some pathing that I'm making is like too difficult, or it's difficult to like sit on a ledge, just take the turn a bit wider, just take it a bit safer. You're not gonna lose that much time if you're doing that at the very beginning until you get more comfortable with controls, right? So you don't need to, you know, be as zip zappy as I am. I just have so much muscle memory that I am just zip zappy in the game. It's hard to turn off, as they say. But again, we're gonna kind of go for the same thing here, and we're kind of just free here. So here I'm gonna hit these guys, and we're actually gonna talk about one more mechanic here. We don't really know if this is a thing or not, but we feel like we move slower when we move up hills. And so what you saw me do is that I just jump up it and I try to not touch it as much as possible. We don't know if you're losing like a frame or two, but just in case you do, there's kind of no reason to like not jump, right? Because we move at the same speed on the ground as in the air. So it doesn't matter if you're on the ground in the air, but we do believe that on slopes you do move slower. So a lot of runners, myself included, will just jump up slopes. And also you will move slightly slower if you hit something. So if you see if I'm walking, you're going to see me slightly slow down for like literally like half a frame. Like it's nothing if you hit something, but generally you're going to see me not hitting anything. You're going to see me jumping over enemies and trying not to interact with anything with my hitbox, with my attack. So we're really not trying to hit anything with our attack, but sometimes we do, and it's fine if you do. It's just a small optimization that you can make. And then over here, this is a bit tricky, landing right there, because these guys love to hit you. Just ask Jaxler, he will have a field day talking about these enemies. So you can either do that skip, or you can kind of just jump back here and then make your way through. Either or. Again, by jumping back that little skip, I probably lost a second. Like, it's not the biggest deal. Again, obviously, top level, a second is a big deal, but like, you know, just getting started, don't worry about it. And typically, I guess this is a good thing. You saw me just pass this checkpoint right here. The reason is because we want to move in the straightest line possible, because we don't have anything to really manipulate our movement, for example. And since we don't have anything to manipulate our movement, the best thing that we can do is cut down on the track. And so what you'll see me do here is, and what you see every runner doing, hey, Spicky for the Devil, it's Jax. And what you'll see every top runner do is not hit any checkpoint ever. But there are certain checkpoints, for example, this one, that if you're a beginner and you're concerned about this like last gauntlet, which I don't think you probably should be, but like, you know, if you are, you can just hit, you can take the slight detour, lose like half a second and hit the checkpoint, right? It's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? So you're going to see me not collect checkpoints. Just be aware that you can collect checkpoints and you can alter the path a little bit. I'm just kind of showing you the bare bones to get your way through. No, I was just explaining to them your disdain for those two enemies on that like turn and 1-2. But we're gonna go into 2-1 again. The first two worlds are kind of simple. We're not doing this. Sorry. Let me alter the path here. That's what I do. We're gonna stick up here. We're gonna simply just walk our way through here. The advanced way is to go in the water, but you kind of just need to know where the level is. So we're not gonna mess with that. Instead, we're just gonna roll on through here. To start, just aim more for the left here, because it's really easy to fall. Right? This is not as because you see the like kind of light blue beneath the blue, and you're like, surely I can stand on that. You can't. So just aim more for the land, and you'll be fine. These blue bubbles, they take you and carry you on a track, right? You don't really need to concern yourself when you jump out of the bubbles for the most part. Just normally you're going to want to ride them all the way. And then here is the first thing where we're not going to kind of use it here, but we're going to use it later. These are bouncy balls, and they send us boingy. We go boingy mode. And if we spin attack, we go boing, and we go super boing. And so we can super boing and get height, which we will use a bit later in this level. And so here, we're just going to go from this tree to this crystal, and we're simply just going to walk it down. The first 4 levels, like after you get past 1-1, they're pretty reset light unless you just make a mistake, which can happen. I can't tell you how many times I've randomly fell and died for no reason. But we're going to go into this bobble. And then we're just going to jump out of it. And then we're simply just going to... we're going to spin jump 2 times off of that. And we're going to land on this crystal. I'll show that one more time. But hey, yo! Hey. And we're basically going to spin jump, and then spin jump off of it. Again, I guess I should call it a spin bounce. So all I'm doing is pressing the attack button. This game is so annoying. That sometimes happens. If you reset at a bad frame, the game will just freeze and you'll just have to restart the level. No biggie, that's fine. Just don't worry about it. We're just gonna make our way right back to where we are going. But again, for the spin bounces, all I'm doing is pressing the attack button, similar timing as you do a spin jump. So like, you know, you press A and then X, or I guess you press jump and then spin attack. And here I'm just pressing spin attack right after I land on the bouncy, right? And so we're just gonna run this back. Don't worry about it, and we're just gonna do the same thing that we just did, and just basically kind of make our way over there. We're just gonna ride a bubble. I didn't say you wouldn't run into a glitch. I just said you probably won't die in this level. And then we're just gonna simply just run it down. We were literally at the very end of the level. We're just gonna take these trees here, which, fun fact, didn't used to be there, but DK, the developer, added them in just to make the game slightly easier, so you didn't have to go boinging on the bouncy balls over there. But right, I reset on a bad frame. That's my bad, Claus. I'll take it into consideration. I'll fix that. My bad. But we're gonna go into tutu. Not to be confused with a tutu like the skirt, and not to be confused with the tutu like you're farting. So we're gonna spin jump off of this, jump up here, and then jump on this bouncy ball, and we're simply just going to jump, spin, jump through or around and yonder. And I didn't think about how I'm gonna teach this. So that's what I do. I forget. I didn't consider this. I forget what the beginner shred is. Surely I'll think about it. What did we used to do? I think we used to do this. What did we used to do? Is it this? Improvisation here, real quick. I'm trying to remember. Dude, I don't remember. Oh no, I haven't done this in so long. Make it up. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it up. I think we just kind of... I know we jump from here to there. That's how you finish. I just don't know how you get there.
I guess whatever way works for you.
That's true. So there is an easier way to do it. I don't remember it, so we're just gonna do this. That is a lot of movement, and it's really hard because, again, these are very small things. So, which this strat is just kind of hard in general. So I think what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do it like this. I figured out the way. Surely, we're gonna jump to this guy here. We're gonna jump up here to this tree, and then we're gonna jump, spin, jump over here, and then we're gonna do that. And that is gonna be our path. Just do that, forehead. It's fine. So I'm going to show it to you in sequence, just one more time. Again, you kind of just get up here like however you can. You know what I mean? There are fast ways, there are slower ways, but as long as you get up here without dying, you're going to be in a good position. And we're simply just going to keep moving on because I forgot that part of the game existed, and that's my bad. But here, we're just going to go up here and jump out of this guy here. You can jump on this tree, or you can just jump on the platform below it, depending on the level of safety. Again, I'm literally going to walk past that checkpoint, but you can just flick over and grab it just in case. And we're just going to jump on... That's not what we do. Let me try that again. We're going to spin jump off this first one, and then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to go in there. That's just a little optimization to skip the third bouncy ball, and you basically just save a little bit of time for pretty much free. And again, we're just going to make our way through here. Grab the checkpoint if you wish, or you just dodge it, whatever you feel like doing. And then here, it's pretty simple and straightforward. We're just going to walk in a straight line, basically for the remainder of this level. World 2 is probably the most sauceless world altogether. And we're basically going to kind of just jump down over here, and then we're going to make our way over to this side of this rooftop, because there is no floor on that side. You will just slide off. So make sure you're on this edge and not this one, because you will die. You will slide off and die. So just make sure you're on the far edge of that rooftop, and you'll be good to go. It'll be fine. And then we're just gonna make our way through here. Again, pretty straightforward, but we're gonna start raising it a bit more as we go along. So 3.1 introduces railings. So as you can see, each world kind of introduces a new mechanic, and that's gonna basically kind of stay true for the most part. And so here, we're just gonna jump from this crystal over here, and then we're gonna jump on top of this tree branch, and then we're gonna do a big triple jump all the way over here. And then we're gonna keep going like this. You can get this checkpoint if you need, because you are about to do a pretty risky jump coming up. So these are the aforementioned railings. You just kind of follow the green little thing, and you put your cursor on the green thing to not go really slow. So you're gonna get off of this, and then you're going to spin jump once you get launched. So why are you wanting to do that? That's because we are basically, if you launch, you get set in a straight path. So you will go like from point A to point B. So like if I launch from that launcher, I will just land right here and I will hit that checkpoint. That's where that launcher is going to put me. But if you attack once you get launched, you can alter yourself. So you can go to the left, go to the right, you can go wherever you want to be. So you can skip some more of the track, right? And so here we're just going to take a little fun path, and we're going to show that one more time. And we're going to land on that tree. So that is the idea of what we're going to be doing here. So do it one more time. And so again, you're just going to press attack, and you're just going to, use your spin attack over here, and then you're simply just going to keep running it down. And then here are hyperspeed platforms. These hyperspeed platforms are cool just because they make you go faster. But if you land on the ground, you will go slower, and you will start crying yourself to sleep. Not really. But what you can do, though, is when you're on this hyperspeed and you have all this hyperspeed, the game doesn't slow you down immediately when you land. So you can maintain your friction if you jump on the ground as soon as you land from hyperspeed. So if I jump here and then I jump again, I can keep some of my speed. But if I don't, I'll just kind of slow down to a walk, right? And so you're going to see me do some of that momentum conservation coming up. But for now, we're just going to jump to this top railing. And then we're just going to kind of go over here and just going to attack these guys on the railings. Also, if you get hit at all in this game, you're going to lose a second per hit. So, for example, ow, I got hit. I lose a second because I basically stutter step there. But you're basically just going to launch off of that guy, and you're going to land over here. And then we're just going to kind of make our way through here. Again, I'm going to be cutting some of the track here. You can take any of these turns a bit wider than I am. And right here is where we're going to do that momentum conservation, right? So, can I get back over there? Oh, I can. Let's go. Huge. So we're gonna do that again. So you can triple jump, and then right here you can jump and keep more of your speed going over there. It's just a little like a time save thing, but it goes a pretty long way, especially in some other levels. And here, we're simply just going to jump on these railings. We're going to jump to the right railing specifically because we're going to jump, spin jump, and land on this railing. And we're going to skip the loop-de-loop animation. So there's a loop that literally is like, oh, wow, look at this cool like cinematic loop that takes like 2 seconds. We don't want to participate in that, so we're going to skip it. It is a cool loop-de-loop, but, speedruns aren't about being cool. They're about being fast, apparently. So we have to skip it. It's not my fault. But just a simple jump, spin jump, and then make it your way through the end of the level. Now, you also saw me right there when I launched from that booster. I attacked once I got launched. That is because whenever you attack after a booster, you also maintain some of the speed from the booster. So not only can you alter your path, you can maintain some of your speed, which is why you see me, attacking. I will always attack after a launch booster, pretty much always. I don't think there is I don't think there's a place where we don't. So I'm pretty sure we do that always. And in any percent for sure, we do it always. And so here's the first kind of real thing we're going to learn outside of 1.1. There are 2 ways to do this level. I'm going to show you the easier way. This loses about 15 seconds. But what you're going to do is you're going to attack off that booster to the right, and you're just going to skip that whole thing, and then you're going to jump, then jump, and then not make it because you're bad, like me. Smile. But you can't make that jump. As you can tell, I don't practice this part of this one. But again, just direct right, and then you're just going to jump kind of late, just to ensure that you're getting all the way over there, maintaining as much speed from the booster as possible. And then you're just going to triple jump, and then you're going to be up here. Now, alternatively, you can save 15 seconds by doing this. Now, this is technically an advanced strat, but I recommend people to learn this when they pick up the game, just because it kind of teaches you a lot about the game in just one trick. So that's what we're going to do, and now we're up here. It saves a lot of time, but it is pretty difficult, so let's break it down. So what we're going to do is, you see the pillars down yonder. So you'll see my, you probably, no, I can't. Sorry. Anyway, so you can see, yeah, you for sure can't see my mouse in this game, but those first two pillars, I mean, we can just kind of go see here. These first two pillars, bam, right there is where I'm going to initiate my spin jump. Now, for this trick, essentially what you want is a max height spin jump into a max height jump, right? To make it onto the crystal. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pulling back on the control stick while you're going through here. So I pretty much hold like down right while I'm on this railing doing the turn. Because again, you need the speed in the green, like on the green bar of the railing, you need the speed in the green in order to get enough speed to get up, right? So you have to be turning to the right, which is why I kind of just hold down right. And then when I launch, then it pulls Hannah back, and then you can. And essentially, you're going to want to do that spin jump right when you cross these railings. And so this is the most important part of the trick, outside of just having a good spin jump. But for example, I'm going to jump really early here. I'm so far back. I had to flick my stick forward, and I still didn't make it, right? And if I do it late, you're going to see I'm probably going to bonk my head if I recall correctly. We'll see what happens. I don't remember what happens if I do it too late. Yeah, I bonk my head. Huge for me. So that is kind of like, that is the thing you should be looking out for the most as you're going through here. So I'm just going to go through here, and then I'm just going to, okay, I'm going to land on that crystal without killing it, unfortunately. And so kind of just what I'm doing is just a spin jump and a jump. You don't want to spin jump, fall, and then jump, right? You don't want to do that. You want to go boom, boom. It's kind of faster than you would think. Like, because you're going so fast and you're going so high up that you would think that your inputs are slower than they are, but they're actually kind of fast, right? Because you're still doing that kind of timing as you go down here. So I'm just going to show this a couple more times, actually. But right here in between the railings, and then you're going to land on this guy, and then you're just going to keep going, right? Also, a thing to note on these crystals, if you stand on them for too long, they break. I don't see why you would ever stand on them for too long, but in case you do, and you're like, why did the crystal break? That's why. So we're going to show this a couple more times just for funsies. I did that a little early. So you saw I did that a little early, and I tried to correct it by actually moving forward with the control stick. Sometimes you can save it, but if you're way too early, like I am most of the time, there is just kind of no saving it. So right there, that was also kind of bad timing. I had to save that one a bit, but that is the general idea of what you're going to be doing. It's just a lot of like feeling out, but just remember, like, initiate the spin jump at the double pillars, because that really makes the trick so much easier. Like literally infinitely easier if you were jumping at the right time, right? Because the jumps themselves, you'll get that with time. But we're going to move on here. You can get the checkpoint, which I highly recommend. This is the checkpoint that I actually do recommend getting, because advanced runners, we do this to go past it. Just get the checkpoint so you don't have to do, like, especially if you're doing crystal jump, get the checkpoint, please. Here, I like to jump right before the last crane, and then we're going to go over here. And now we're going to do our second, like, big skip of this level. By the way, this level we complete in under a minute. Just fun fact, if you're doing like all the strats. So right here, what we're going to do, instead of going through this tunnel here with all these guys, we're simply just going to jump out and around to this railing, and we're going to skip all of that. So this jump is deceptively tricky. A lot of people have troubles with this one, and the most common thing why you're having troubles with this one is because you're jumping too late. So like you'll do this, and then you'll like drop too low, and then you'll just hit your head, and you won't hit it. So try to jump earlier than you think. You kind of want to jump. You want to feel like you're jumping up and over the railing, right? So you can see I'm jumping pretty early, right, to get on this railing, and that's kind of the way that you want to do it. Because if you're waiting too long and you start dropping, you're actually losing speed whenever you drop. So you want to keep that speed going forward, and you can actually overshoot it if you do it really well. And so a lot of the times, especially if you see me doing it, I will overshoot it a lot. But what you'll see me do is that if I do overshoot it, you can just simply run more of the track, right? And then you can just go to the right and then go over. This is the second half of the trick. Cool. Y'all can do that, right? We'll go back and do it again. It's actually a really simple input. All you're doing there is just holding right on the control stick and then pressing A. And you're just going to jump, like instead of spin attacking, you're just going to jump and land on the railing. Again, if you don't want to do this, I highly recommend you to do it. But I know that a couple runners do this part of the trick, but because this saves a ton of time. But here's some runners like to just jump to the left here and then go to the railing. It doesn't lose that much time if you do that. Just another option for you. And then we'll show it one more time. Why not? So we're just gonna go over here, jump on the red balloon over here. Oh, I guess a thing to mention, if you jump on these bouncy platforms, you keep your speed from the hyperspeed platform. That's kind of a fun fact that will come up more later, but it's just a thing. And also, these bouncy balls act as a pseudo landing platform where you get back 2 of your jumps. So you get a jump and a spin attack, but you don't get a triple jump off of these. So the first bounce acts as your first jump, in case anyone was wondering. But here we're going to go down to here, and then we're just going to just do one jump, one simple jump, spin jump off of that railing, jump on that red thing, and then we're going to go over here. Again, there's a checkpoint over here that you can get if you want. And then we're going to go to this railing, and we're just going to jump, spin attack, and then we're going to spin jump all the way up here, land on this railing, jump, spin attack, bam. And this is the end level. And so for funsies, let's just show it all in one go, hopefully. So you're going to start with the Christopher jump, again, right in between the pillars. I jumped a bit too early there. I tried to save it, didn't save it. We go again. As you can tell, this is the biggest run killer in the game, or the most common run killer in the game, I should say. And then we're just going to simply just make our way through there. Again, you can get that checkpoint. I just have a lot of muscle memory, so I didn't. But that's kind of what you'll see is the more top level you get, the less checkpoints you get. Because pretty much we get no checkpoints in Glitchless. Like, we kind of just pretend they don't exist. We're like, checkpoint? I don't see you. We like almost intentionally avoiding. Even if they're like right next to us, we're like, nah, I don't want to do that. And then jump here, and then I like to jump spin attack there. Now, the reason that I like to jump spin attack is because a spin attack gives you a set amount of forward momentum while you're in the air. And so I guess I can show you what I mean there. So again, we would have hit that at 57, right? We can do this level in under a minute. So whenever you're jumping with the second jump, you can kind of jump really far forward, or you can jump like a short jump, right? But if you jump spin attack, you always get the same amount of distance all the time, right? This is super consistent with my forward momentum, rather than like, oh, I land it sooner, I land it very far away, right? So you'll see me use the spin attack in certain positions, and I'll try to remember where I'm doing it as I'm teaching you. But just know that if you see me jump in a certain way, there is a high percentage chance that I'm doing it very intentionally. Besides jump spin jumping. Jump spin jumping, I just personally like jump spin jumping. But for example, Jax, who's another runner of the game, he likes spin jump. That's just a matter of preference. But this attack is very, very useful if you just need to go a very certain set amount of distance, which we'll see more in upcoming levels. But for now, let's just get out of 3-2. That's a lot. This is the first kind of like crazy level, and it gets harder.
Oh.
It gets harder. This is going to be your worst nightmare. This world right here, World 4, is it gives every runner PTSD. So let's just go over what the heck is going on in this level. So you have rotating red and blue platforms. As you can see, they match up with the rhythm of the music. So snare hit, snare hit, snare hit, snare hit, 2, 4, right? So a lot of runners, I know a lot of runners like to listen to the music and, feel the level with that. I'm a psychopath. So I actually just watch the colors at the bottom because I play this game so often without music and I'll be listening to other music in this level. You don't have to do that. It does kind of make it easier if you play this level with sound. But as you can see, these platforms rotate. And as you can tell, and you could probably sniff it out if you played other speed games, we're going to be on a cycle. And this is going to be the hardest part because cycles are hard, because if you miss a cycle, what happens? You die. So you're going to have a lot of that most likely. So there is pretty much no delineation between the advanced strat here and the beginner strat I'm going to show you. So this is all in one. I forgot what I was doing. Huge for me. So we're gonna try that again. We're gonna spin jump and jump up to the left side here. We're gonna go blue red here, and then we're gonna go over here, and then we're going to cut exactly like this. You don't technically have to do this jump spin jump. I do it, but you can just take the graham crackle. It will not lose you that much time. But the reason I do that is because here I'm gonna jump, and you actually saw me arc out and around. Now the reason I did that is because I'm too fast there. So I'm gonna restart the level a lot because if you reset to a checkpoint, the music keeps playing. You hear that? Well, I'll wait until the music starts. So the music's starting, right? The music keeps starting, the cycles keep going. So if you die, reset to checkpoint, you're gonna have to freehand it, right? Which is why you typically see me restart level, and if you ever watch me run the game, I will just restart the run if I mess up something. But again, blue red here, and we're gonna go through this checkpoint unintentionally, but we're gonna jump spin jump here, and this is because I want to get here sooner. Now if I get here too soon and I just jump spin jump, I'm just gonna yeet myself over, right? So that's why I kind of do this sweeping motion. I sweep out to the left. And I do this. This is just specifically how I do it. This is the most consistent for me. I know Jax does it a slightly different way that is fairly consistent for him, but this is the way I know how to do it, so I'm just going to show you how to do it my way. So here, I like to sweep out and around, land on that guy, and then we're going to go over here. And for the most part, the rest of this level is kind of okay. That jump is pretty tricky. But here we're just going to go blue. We're going to land on here. We're going to go red to red. So we're going to go red to center red. And then we're going to double jump here. We're going to spin bounce off of the jellies. These act as the beach balls from World 2. They get a revisit. You can spin bounce off of them to gain the height there. I like to land on that thing. You can land on the bottom. You can land on top. It's whatever you want to do. Here, that is the patented Jaxler one. That jump is ridiculously hard if you triple jump it, so I always jump spin jump it. So here's the advanced strat. You make it to that blue platform, right? And that is the delineation. So you can land on the blue platform, or you can land on the red platform. So if you're slightly too slow, you'll hit the red platform. You're going to lose 1 second. you're going to get a 19 instead of an 18 in this level. Oh. But if you hit the blue platform, you're going to get a 118. So I'm just going to show it to you again, maybe just a couple times, just because it's kind of a lot, and there's kind of not much to explain. It's just kind of just hit it. Unfortunately, it's just under Fortnite, as they say. But again, I like to sweep out into the left here just to slow me down slightly and land on that far edge of that red platform. And I'm actually going to I'm actually going to slow down at the part where I was talking about the jump spin jump, just because it's a deceptively hard jump that I see a lot of people have troubles with, just when I've been teaching other people like learning the game, or just, you know, in their chats, you know, larking, because I'm a snoop. If you're streaming Lunistice, I'm probably watching you. So here I'm gonna take this checkpoint here. And so, important to note, you can stand on these other platforms here, but it's very easy to slide off, right? So what you'll see me do is jump from edge to edge, right? You can see there's more of a little platform on these edges of this railing here. And so this is what I'm talking about, because you need to I'm choking. This is hard to do, not in sequence. So what you need to do is you need to kind of run off and then jump, spin, jump. And I have stolen that from Jax, because I used to do this thing where I would go here and I would try to triple jump. And you can see I almost just got rejected by the thing and got absolutely yeeted down. This is because whenever you jump, spin, jump, you're gaining height. So even if you fall a little bit, you will regain the height that you fell with, right? And this is a good time to mention coyote frames, because if you can see, I'm clearly off the side of that when I input my jump. So you have a little bit of coyote frames in this game. You don't have that much, right? You don't have that much, but you have a little bit, right? And so with this, you can use these coyote frames to just fall off this a little bit and then jump, spin, jump. Now, it's important to note that when I'm doing this jump, spin, jump, it is a full hop, full spin jump. It's a pretty far away jump to get here. Now, if you don't want to do that, you could see where we're about to go with this. You can just do this, which is significantly easier, and you will get blue. But the thing is, if you do that, you will get blue platform cycle for sure, which is fine, because you will get red platform cycle. My bad. You will get red platform cycle, which again is it's 1 second. It's not that big of a deal. So let's just show it in sequence. And we're kind of just gonna see this. So again, blue, red. We're gonna triple jump over here, over yonder. We're gonna get our way through here. You can triple jump there. I normally jump, spin, jump. I just didn't at that time because you know, sometimes your hands don't do exactly what you want. There I looped out and around to the left a little bit. And we're just gonna jump on this crystal, and then we're just gonna kind of walk it down straight to this blue platform. Again, we're gonna go double center red here. And a thing to know about the platforms is, since they line up with the music, they will always be in cycle, right? So there's no RNG with the platforms. They line up with the music. This will be 100% consistent as long as you are 100% consistent. So there's no funny business in this level. If you miss a platform, it's because you were too slow, unfortunately, which is kind of sad, because then you're like, oh man, I suck. But it's fine. You know, sometimes you suck. So here, I have time to hit that blue platform, but I kind of wanted to point out just a thing here, is that you want to jump low. Whenever you're jumping on this crystal to get to the blue platform, you'll see me drop down low here, and that's to get down low because I'm trying to land on like this part of the blue platform, like the very furthest edge towards me. This is because if you overshoot it, like if you don't like drop down, it'll just like disappear under your feet when you're on cycle. And then the rest of the level is literally, I mean, you can see the goal. It's just, you know, pretty simple. But But yeah, and that's 4-1. This is and if you think that you're like, man, that 4-1, that was kind of complicated, that's, it's a little bit difficult. Surely 4-2 is easier.
Surely.
It's not. So I'm just gonna play, and you'll just kind of see what's going on here. We're gonna go red platform to red platform. We're gonna jump here. I'm gonna intentionally fall really far there just so I can get the height required to hit that red platform right as it appears. And then we're gonna kind of just go through here, and we're gonna have some fun vertical climbing section here. And yes, this is the beginner cycle. In case you're wondering, this is the beginner cycle. So on that blue platform there, I specifically tried to land on the far edge because it is kind of in an awkward cycle. So that was intentional. Here I'm going to slow down just slightly to jump so I don't get hit by those spikes. Because again, if you get hit in this game, you lose a second. And here you're going to see me run off and then spin attack jump. This is my preferred method because it just ensures that I get all of my resources back by touching the ground. Because again, you need to touch the ground in order to regain your resources, right? And so I kind of just like running off to make sure I get those resources. Here's another section where I intentionally attack there to get a set amount of distance forward to get to that crystal. So again, I said it before, but it's really like right there again. I use the attack to get a certain set amount of distance forward. It's really useful to use the attack in a way that you get just a guaranteed like distance forward. You're going to see a lot coming up here. I'm actually going to do it twice here where I'm going to jump, spin attack, right? Because I want that guaranteed push forward. So I know exactly how long I'm going to be in the air for. It really helps your movement out, and it really cleans it up a lot. So you don't have to be like really precise with your jumps, especially when you're like stressed or whatever. It's hard to, be super consistent with the second jump. But that spin attack, it's easy money. So let's break down this level a little bit or a lot of it. So what we're going to do is you're just going to spin jump to this crystal. This is the first thing. You're going to jump over this crystal. You're going to go from here, and then you're going to land on this red platform. Again, I'm going to be restarting the level a lot here just so I can show you the proper cycle. So you're going to go red, blue, and then you're just going to freehand reds. I like spin jumping here. It just gives you a bit more hang time. So you have a bit more wiggle room. I like to walk all the way to the second crystal over there and then get over here. So this is kind of like the first punch that the game's going to give you in this level. So again, this crystal, jump, spin, jump. You can see I'm jumping kind of on the edges of these. I'm not trying to go into the center of these platforms. I'm keeping to the edge. I jump, spin, jump, go to the second crystal, because if you jump directly from the first crystal, you will just fall to the platform because the platform will not appear yet. And then this is just a fun section. It looks a bit more complicated than it is. All I'm doing is just double jumping there. I'm just kind of double jumping and holding like a single angle. Now I'm making it look really easy to hold a single angle. It is not easy to walk in a straight line in this game. Especially on controller. Now keyboard, it's pretty easy to walk a straight line. Just W. And so, but the good news, if you're looking, and if you paid attention to the first go around, the beginning is really the thing that's gonna trip you out the most, right? Making sure that you don't get to that red platform too soon, and then making sure you get to this upcoming red platform quick enough / also not too soon. Right here, I'm jumping from that crystal onto this red platform. Now this jump is hard. That's how I can put it easily. But right here, you're actually going to see I'm going to jump on. So again, these break if you stand on them for too long. If you keep jumping and resetting, the crystal will not break. So I'm jumping on this kind of spot of the crystal. You can also stand on this spot of the crystal, on this, like, it looks like it's dipping down, right? So you have this one dipping down, you have this one dipping down to the right, and you have this one kind of straight up. This is where you want to jump from in order to get to that red platform. So let's try to show that in motion. So again, I'm jumping right there, right? It's off cycle. That's unfortunate for me. I'm gonna die. But that is where you want to jump from. Now, here's the thing. This cycle will give you a 155 on the level. The advanced cycle will give you a 152. This is one spot where this is by far the hardest part of the trick, both in the beginner cycle and the advanced cycle. Because on the beginner cycle, hitting the blue platform is as precise as hitting the red platform on the advanced route, but you have a bit more leeway since the red platform's there for so long, that I personally like to go for the red platform on this beginner cycle. Now, you do have a couple options here. So that jump is pretty tight because it's max height, spin jump, max height jumps to get to that red platform. Or you can go to the blue platform, but the blue platform is disappearing, right? So you have to land on it and it's going to disappear right as you land on it, which in my opinion is harder than jumping to the red platform. That's just kind of my thing, because whenever a platform is disappearing, A, you just get more anxiety because you're like, the platform is going to leave me. And then, but B, that's pretty much it. You just get more anxiety and it's just harder to know, especially since you're beginning and you don't have that good of, like, you're not going to have perfect knowledge of coyote frames, because the platforms can disappear and you still have the amount of coyote frames that you have. So if the platform disappears underneath you, you still have a couple frames that you can input a jump and get all three of your resources, right? So let's do this one more time. So you have a couple options here. You can go for the red platform, you can go for the blue platform, or you can just play it safe and you can just jump up here. Now, if you jump up here, you're gonna have to freehand the level because I don't have a cycle for this. I started with doing this beginner cycle going to the red. I never learned anything else, unfortunately, so I don't have much to help you out with. But if you just pay attention to the snare hits in your headphones, or just the red and blue alternating at the bottom of the screen, you should be able to just, feel your way through the level. But I'm going to show the cycle one more time, maybe two more times. We'll do it two more times just because it's kind of a lot in this level, especially if I just find something else that I want to explain along the way, which happens quite often because I like to forget things until I'm like, oh, maybe that's difficult. And I'm like, maybe I should discuss that a little bit. So we're going to go to this rolling pin, and then we're going to jump up here. We're going to jump on the little lip on that crystal, and we're going to go over here. And then we're going to jump right through this checkpoint. Now, I intentionally get this checkpoint because if you die from here, this part of the level is a lot easier to freehand than the beginning. So you saw me do kind of a little out loop there. That's just to hit that blue platform on time. Just a little thing to just ensure that you line up with the cycle. And then here again, I like to just run off and then just spin, attack, jump. Spin, attack, jump. It's very consistent. You're going to go the same amount of distance every single time, and it just so happens to kind of just match up perfectly with that section. It's what I really, really prefer to do. And then we're simply just going to take these colored platforms all the way here, and again, we're going to jump on this thing, step forward with that the spin attack. Again, just using that for the controlled forward momentum there, right? So I know exactly how long I'm going to be in the air for. That tool is very useful in any percent, but it's even more useful in a category like Hundo. I remember telling Kawaza to do that in World 5 specifically, because there's some cranes you have to get midair, and so having like a midair be consistent, like really consistent, is very good. So again, I'm gonna get a 155 here. We're just gonna restart the level. We're gonna show it one more time, and then we're just gonna kind of move on. because there is a good amount to explain in World 4, which we did explain, but unfortunately, this is kind of a this is the most like get good level in the game. Like there's not too much to think about. It's just I hope you're going fast enough, man. Which is both good and bad. Like good in the sense of you're like, okay, cool, it's straightforward, but then it's also like, oh, cool, it's straightforward, and then it just kind of feels bad sometimes because you're like, dude, I just keep messing up. And so right there, I'm actually moving in a certain manner in order to not hit those spikes. So those spikes are also on a cycle. Everything that moves is on a cycle actually, because it's all lining up with the music. So those durangs moving up and down, they're on a cycle. The platforms are on a cycle. The spikes are on a cycle, right? So everything will be the same every single level, like no matter what. Everything is consistent, which is very nice for speedrunners because you're like, okay, cool. If I just hit the cycle, I will never, ever, ever lose time in this level, which you typically won't. Like you might lose like up to half a second, but you're not really going to lose that much more than that unless you have a meltdown, as they say. A Hannah meltdown. Again, using that spin attack to make sure I'm getting the exact amount of distance that I want. I'm going to mention it a lot because I think it's super, super important to pick up and just, pick up the habit of being like, okay, let me spin attack in the air for that amount of distance forward. Right there, you can move your camera to basically just line up that chocolate a little bit better. Again, we're gonna keep it very consistent with that attack, and then we're gonna exit with 155, and that is the end of Hell Week for you all. We made it! Woohoo! Yeah, World 4 is by far the hardest world in the game, just because you have to be on it, right? Like if you make a mistake, there's no, oh, let me like wiggle out of this. Let me like, like if you mess up, like the platform's going to disappear and you're going to cry. Well, maybe not cry, but you might be sad.
We talked about this. No crying on the show.
No crying. I'm bad. Yeah, it's true. We're not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. But now we're going to go into my favorite level in this game, just because I love the way this level looks and I love the music of this game as well. So let's just get on into it. So at the very beginning, I'm just gonna spin jump up to this blue mushroom. Now, any colored mushroom that is not pink with like paws on it are just platforms. They're just platforms, but pink mushrooms with like paws on them will be like the beach balls from World 2. So railings are reskinned as trees here. Again, we're going to attack to get out of the booster trajectory, and we're going to land down here onto this thing. You don't want to land on the crystal, because if you land on the crystal, you will just slide off and die. These are the platforms I'm talking about. These act as beach balls that we discussed in World 2, but everything else is just a platform that you can walk on. Now, a thing to note about these mushrooms is that this is very unfortunate if you're colorblind, and I'm sorry, but for those of you that are not, you can see this is a lighter shade of green. If I go to the dark shade of green, I will slide off. So this is where you should, this is where it's this is where it's useful to be able to see color. Like, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say.
That's, yeah.
I don't know, man. But, I don't know because I don't know how colorblind. I don't know if they can see shades. Anyway, we're just gonna get off this topic. But the darker colored, you can't stand on the darker color, right? I will just slide off. So just whenever you're landing on these mushrooms, and especially the pink mushrooms, you don't want to land too far to the side because, especially on the bigger ones, you can just slide off and die. So typically, you're just going to want to stick on the lighter shades. So the lighter shade of pink, the lighter shade of brown, lighter shade of purple, etc. A shades of gray? Okay, cool. All right, there you go. So the darker shades of gray, just stay away from the darker shade of gray. You want to be on the lighter shade then. So again, I'm ignoring every checkpoint because of course I am. And then I like jump spin jumping here because, again, I just feel like it's more consistent in order to get the max amount of distance. So just to show you what boosters are, this is what a booster will normally do. Wow, cool. We don't want to do that. I don't know. Bloopity. What a name. Banger name, by the way.
I know there are some glasses that are supposed to help with color blindness, and people say they work. I don't know how effective they are.
There you go. But again, after these launchers, we're going to simply attack and then go to the right, and then we're just going to jump on that platform. Again, you don't have to technically land right there. That's just where we're going to land. We're going to spin jump off that, and then this is the mechanic that 5.1 introduces with the railings, where you hit the golden mushroom and it makes the tree branch grow. And so then you can ride along the branch. A thing to note is that the branch, it visually grows, but we'll talk about that in a second. Right here, we're on this super speed platform, and we're going to do a skip to that crystal over there. That crystal right there in front of me, protruding out, that giant blue crystal. We're going to go over there. So we're going to land basically around here. We're going to cut track here. And then I like to jump past these guys and then just triple jump over here. Jump as soon as you land on the ground to keep some of the momentum from, what you call it? I forgot to take a checkpoint. And that's the beauty of not getting checkpoints. If you don't get a checkpoint and you die or you reset the checkpoint, you're at the beginning of the level, which, means that you probably reset the run. Which is why I'm saying to you all, get checkpoints if you need, because a lot of them are not that far out of the way. Like, some of them are far out of the way, but a lot of them are not that far out of the way. But no biggie, we're just going to do the same thing. Again, you don't have to land where I'm landing here. You can land to the left side or behind that crystal, because sometimes it's hard to get the amount of distance required. We're simply just going to actually get this checkpoint, and we're going to show you this jump one more time, maybe two more times, who knows. But again, once you land from hyperspeed platforms, I also just jump here just to end the boost launch a bit sooner. I don't know if it actually does anything. It just feels like it does. But triple jump to this edge of the thing, and then you're going to jump as soon as you land to maintain that. So here, the branch is growing, and what you're going to notice is that the branch is fully grown. So I'm grinding on air. So don't worry about it. If you're going too fast, you will just grind on air, but the branch is fully grown. So there's no need to worry, and you can grind on air. Here, we're just going to simply go through this. We're going to stand on this hyperspeed platforms. The bouncy platforms preserve hyperspeed, which is very nice for us. So this is good that we can just keep our hyperspeed going. We're going to hit the branch, extend it, and then we're going to go over here. I like landing, and then we're going to jump before this loop-de-loop, and we're going to land right on this booster. And then we're just going to simply whoop, right to that green mushroom. And then I like to tilt the camera up there so I can see through the tree. And then we're going to come over here, and we're going to jump on here, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to jump all the way up there, ideally. Let's do that again. So, unfortunately, there is not a checkpoint closer to this. So we have to go through this section of the level, but it's fine. Again, you're seeing me use the attack for the set amount of distance in the air, so that I just go from mushroom to mushroom. I don't have to worry about overshooting or undershooting. It's all good. Here, you want to jump a bit sooner, and then you're just going to simply fall into the booster. And then you can either wait to do the spin jump, or you can do it immediately. You're going to go over here, and then you're basically just going to cut track here. And then right here, so again, I'm using the attack right after I land to get the there we go, to get the height from the pink mushroom in order to make it all the way up. So you're basically just going to go here, boom, and then you're going to not miss the button on your controller, and then you're going to jump all the way up here. And that's kind of what it looks like. It's just 2 spin bounces off the things. If you're finding that you can't get all the way up there, you can land, as you can see, on this, as long as you're mashing into the thing, or you can stand on this crystal and then simply jump up. And then also with this jump, if you want to make it easier, just go more to the left, because the left is descending. So since it's descending, you have more track to go through. But if you do it good, you can kind of just not, kind of just not do that. So let's just show it one more time in sequence to the end here. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. I think, yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with that. I think I explained everything pretty well. Again, I like to jump pretty early, like almost like right like when it's still turning. I like to jump. Again, doesn't really matter where you do the thing. I like to tilt the camera upwards and then just simply spin jump over here. And that is the ideal of what you want there. Again, you can land on the crystal jutting out there and then jump up, or you can, go more to the track so you get more grace on your jumps. That's the idea of what you want. All right, on to 5-2. Now, 5-2 is, I think it's pretty straightforward, actually. I think we're just going to show this once just because this is a very long level. So you can land on that that crystal or not. Here, you're going to go to the right first. And you're not, so let's pause. Let's go back. So you have a couple of rules in this level. First off, there is no music playing. That is intentional. The music triggers, spoiler, the music triggers as you hit the tiers in the top right-hand side of your screen. So as you hit those, they will, the music will be introduced one by one. Like, so like the drums will start playing, then like the track and the melody, right? And then how this level works is that this center area here, there will be a bubble that appears once we activate all 3 tiers, and that will take us up to the second half of the level, which is why I'm only going to show it once, because this is just a very long level and there's not too much going on. There is a lot going on the advanced side of things, but on the non-advanced, you're kind of just walking a track for the most part, I think, unless I run into something later on. But it is very important in this level that you do not hit any checkpoints unless I hit them. This is because we are going to checkpoint abuse in this level because it is so big and large. So you do not want to hit any checkpoints. This is one where we actually do use the checkpoints because when we pause, the timer pauses. So when we reset the checkpoint, we don't really lose that much time, right? Because we're not losing time in the pause menu because we time with in-game time on the leaderboard. We don't time with real time. So with that being said, now that we all know what's going on here, let's get it going. So here you can jump on this blue crystal, or you can just simply like jump on the green mushroom or the whatever. You can jump anywhere that you want. The blue crystal is fastest. And then we're not going to hit any checkpoints. We're going to hit this, and then we're going to go over here, and then I'm going to collect all but the last one, and then I'm going to alter it, and then land on that. And that's what we're going to do. I guess for here, I can actually show this one more time. Just because it's pretty close to the beginning of the level. Excuse me. You do have a couple options here. I'm actually just going to grab this checkpoint. It doesn't matter if you grab one of these, but later on it will. So like for example here, you can collect these cranes until the very last one, and then you can land here. Or alternatively, and then your spin bounce off that right mushroom. Or alternatively, this is what we used to do, is that we would just simply go right here and then do that, right? It's either or, whichever one you want to do. And then we're going to do this. We're not going to do what I was about to do, and we're just going to loop around. There is an advanced strat there that is really hard that we're not going to talk about unless we have time to. And here is the first checkpoint. We intentionally grab that checkpoint. Make sure you grab that checkpoint because now we are going to do our first checkpoint of these. Again, off this launcher, we're going to alter the path with the spin attack. We're going to go over here. We're going to hit this. And as we're hitting it, we're going to pause and reset the checkpoint, right? And then we're going to come back here. And then we're going to make our way over here. And then you can see the music is being introduced. We're going to alter the path from the booster again, go over here, and then we're actually going to cut down here to this pink mushroom, and then we're going to make our way over here. So, and then these are pretty straightforward. We're going to cut corners. Just make sure you don't die here. You don't have to cut in the same way that I'm cutting, but this is a pretty safe way to do so. So right here, I'm only going to get to show you this once, unfortunately, because I don't feel like doing that whole thing over again. But what we're going to do is that we're going to jump from that mushroom in front of me down to that track down there. Excuse me. This trick is easier than it looks. Just as long as you have full jumps, you're going to make it. So we're just going to jump over here, and then we're just going to boop, boop. Like, we have so much hang time. Like, it's fine. Like, it's all good. And again, we keep our hyperspeed on these pink ones, and then I'm going to intentionally hit this, and I'm going to intentionally also stay in the air. So we're hitting this checkpoint. If you land, it's fine, but we're intentionally going to that checkpoint, and how I like to do it is hit it and then just triple jump out of it, so I maintain all of my speed. We're going to hit this mushroom, and then we're going to land right there, and then we're going to jump over here, and we're going to skip the track like that. We'll show it one more time just because I can. So once you hit that checkpoint, you can either jump, spin jump, you can triple jump, whatever you want to do. You can literally land kind of anywhere here on the top side. You will have enough time to go over here. We're going to avoid this checkpoint by jumping and then attacking in the air and then landing on the railing. We're going to do the same thing where we attack through there. You can input your jump again there in case you don't want to go straight to the railing, but that's just the fastest thing to do. We're going to hit that, reset the checkpoint again. I realize I'm resetting the checkpoint really fast, but it's literally just pause down A. Like, that's how I'm resetting so fast. And then we're going to go through here. We just activated the second crystal, and now we activated the third crystal. We're going to jump out of that, and then we're going to go right here to the bubble. I don't think I get to show this again. Unfortunate. I was going to show you that again, but we are locked up here because, as you can see, that checkpoint is automatically activated. But that last booster that I did, I just went to the left and spun attack out of it, and then I just went out and around that booster. It saves about, I think, a second, maybe a second and a half, maybe two. I don't know how much it saves anymore. I forget. But it saves a good amount of time. But the rest of this level is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the whole level is kind of pretty self-explanatory. We're not really doing too much stuff. You just have to remember to, hit the certain checkpoints and not accidentally hit other ones, especially going to the second and the third tiers. That's like the biggest concern, is accidentally hitting a checkpoint, because then you're going to lose a ton of time. And then here, this is kind of the last skip. We're going to go from the bouncy platform onto the railing. You can kind of line it up on that railing, and you kind of just travel with it to make that jump a bit easier. And then that's the end of 5-2. This is a pretty long level. The super ideal in this level is a 318. It's like a 318, 320, something like that. Somewhere around there is going to be your ideal time. I cannot talk. Wow. But 5-2 is pretty straightforward, just as long as you just follow the path. It's kind of like 1-1 and like World 1 and World 2. It's just kind of follow the path in 5-2. But now we're on to 6-1 here. Making our way through. Now this level is pretty self-explanatory, but it's also kind of difficult. I'm going to show you two options to do this beginning. This is the first one, where we're going to spin jump up here and land on that corner. that looks pretty hard. That's because it is pretty hard. What's the alternative? Surely it's easier. No. I find this one harder, where we're going to go from here and we're going to jump, spin, jump onto this tiny thing over here and then jump over here. Now, obviously, you can break this down and you can just like not do that, right? You can break this down more and you could just go from like here. Okay, that was an extremely poor attempt at showing you what you could do. But like what you could do is you could jump down here, you could go from here, and then you can go out and around here. Right? You're gonna lose a decent amount of time, but it's whatever. But I'm just gonna kind of show you just what I recommend, because I think this is the easier variant of the two, me personally. It's of course. As soon as I say it, I just yeet myself off. Guys, this is easier. I swear, dies. I swear, I'm not lying to you. But that is basically that's the trickiest thing you're gonna do in this level. This level is World 6 in general, especially. Well, World 6 for beginners is the most snooze fest of all time. It's basically like 2-2. There's nothing really going on. There's just a couple of cool boosts that you can do, for example, coming up. So right here, I'm just going to spin attack, jump, and then land right before that guy, and then go over there. Just a bit of momentum conservation. I like to attack to that crystal just to save a bit of time here. You can get this checkpoint or you cannot. And what we're going to do is just attack and then jump. And then we're going to ideally land on this thing, but you can just land anywhere on the island if you can't make it directly to this pole. But ideally, you're going to land somewhere on this railing doing that. And then we're just going to kind of just walk it down. Again, this is a pretty sauceless world, but it's very nice after what you just went through in, like, you know, World 3 and World 4, where you're like sweating it down and you're stressed, and then you get a nice comfy World 6. You're not doing that. None of you are doing that. Sorry, that was a little bit of muscle memory. What you're going to do instead is you're going to do this. My bad. The jump that I was going to show you is very tight. You're not going to do that. Here, we're going to jump up to the right, and we're going to land up over here. Now, if you see me do this, you'll see me just go straight forward like this and land up here. It's a bit tight and it's a bit precise. So instead, what you can do is you can just jump to the right here and make that jump really trivial, and you might lose like half a second at most from going straight. So it's a pretty free backup that you can do. And then this level, your goal is about 140, but if you're 140 to 145 is kind of a good guesstimate made it range if you're not making any big mistakes in this level. And that's just 6-1. There's really nothing to talk about besides just monkey see, monkey do, right? You just follow the path. 6-2 is a lot of the same. World 6 is kind of your chill level right before you get to World 7, which will make you stressed yet again, because why not? You know what I mean? But we'll get there. For now, we're just gonna have a good time in World 6. Now, these railings do not have an ending in sight. So what you'll see me do is that I'm jumping a bit earlier, because if you don't jump early enough, you will just fall. And you will just, and then you'll die. And then you'll be like, this is abysmal. So just play it safe on these railings. What I like to recommend is that you get hit by that guy. I recommend that. No. What I recommend is that you jump a bit earlier off these railings and not like at the very end of them. And then even like doing something like double jumping to secure it. Here I'm going to spin jump into that second one booster. It's just a slight time save. And then we're going to do that. And then we're going to land on this. And I'll show you that one more time because I'm doing something specific there on that launch as well. That row of cranes, I'm essentially hitting the attack button after I collect the second crane in that arc. So let's go through this beginning one more time. It's not terribly complicated. It's just little things that I like to do just to make it a bit easier. So I'm going to hit 1-2 spin attack, right? And then that will space you so that you land right here. And then once you land, you'll just jump over this guy or get hit by him, and make your way over here. I like to triple jump, land on the far side of this, and then again, preserve your momentum onto the this thing from the hyperspeed platform. And then we're just gonna jump over to the right, and just pretty much just follow the path. Here, I like to jump, spin attack. That's just so I don't hit the guys on the side. There is something you can do. You can jump on the top of that checkpoint if you wish, or you can just take it below the checkpoint. It saves about, I think, a second, maybe 2. You have 2 options there. You can do that jump, or you can just jump to that platform and come over here, which either or, because that jump is a bit tricky, but I think it's worth going for. It just teaches you better fundamentals. And then over here, we're just gonna kind of just keep it going, and just go in a straight line. Now these railings are the ones that are super finicky, so just jump sooner, jump often, just ensure that you're hitting them. And then we're just gonna kind of go on these hyperspeed platforms, and we're gonna jump on this rock, and then we're gonna jump up like that. You could take that a bit slower if you wish. We'll go back. We'll show this one more time for the one. So you're just gonna go over here, and then you're just gonna go rock, then jump off of it onto there, and then up here. Again, these railings really want to throw you off soon, so I like to jump off pretty soon from them. And then you're just going to go over here, and then you're just gonna kind of follow this path. Again, you don't have to follow it exactly, but this is just what I do in order to get to the end as fast as possible. And then that is fix 2. It's pretty cut and dry, pretty straightforward. But now we're gonna go into World 7. World 7, we're actually gonna be using some new mechanics of the game that we haven't talked about yet. It is really cool. Most notably, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be doing a damage boost or a damage abuse. So whenever you get hit, if you ever get hit by an enemy mid-air and you've exhausted all 3 of your resources, you get 2 of them back. You get your attack back, and you get your jump back. And so we're going to use that in order to ascend over some places here. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's get there first, shall we? Again, slopes in this game do kind of slow you down. Now, a thing here is that there is a specific set of stairs in this world that slows you down a ton. It's not these stairs, but just in general, you just want to avoid walking on slopes, which is why you see me jumping up it rather. Excuse me. And so we're just gonna kind of go over here. We're gonna do this little auto scroll at the very beginning, and then we're going to spin attack right after we get launched, as always. And then we're going to run on this, and these purple platforms keep your hyperspeed. And you're going to see me cutting the track here with a jump, spin, jump. You don't technically have to do that. This is the first trick where we're going to spin attack, and then we're going to jump right when we get in between those railings, and we're going to do that. You got it, right? No worries at all. So what we're doing there is that we are really using the momentum conservation from the hyperspeed. So again, I said if you jump as soon as you land from hyperspeed, you will keep some of your speed. So this is that in action. We are using that to its fullest extent here. Again, you don't technically have to cut this loop-de-loop up here, but we're going to spin attack, keep the launcher from the booster, and then we're going to jump kind of right before we get to those middle pillars, and then we're going to jump. We're going to jump, spin, jump up to the top left railing. I'll show it one more time, but right after this, we're going to do another trick to skip another giant section of the level. Granted, this is not skipping a giant section of the level. This is just keeping the hyperspeed for as long as possible, which in turn saves a lot of time, right? And unfortunately, there's no checkpoint, so I just have to be restarting the level in order to show this to you. But that's fine. But right here, again, launch, in between, jump, boom. Jump, spin, jump right up there, and then you're going to grind along here. And then we're going to spin here, and then we're going to go here until right before the last crane in that arc, and then we're going to jump, damage boost, and then go over here. Wow, cool. You all have got that. And this is the stairs I'm talking about. You can clearly see I'm moving slower as I ascend these, which is why we have that suspect. But let's show that one more time in one go. This, fortunately, is the biggest, this is the most difficult thing you're going to be doing in 7-1 specifically. Just these 2 front-loaded tricks at the very beginning of the level. So we're gonna show it 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 more times. I don't know. We'll show it a couple more times just for posterity's sake. So prosperity, I don't know the word. Anyway, spin attack, jump, boop, bop. You can jump a bit early, just as long as you're doing a short hop there. I'm not doing a full hop. I'm doing a short hop. And here I'm gonna attack right before the last crane. Attack, jump, get hit, attack, jump, right? And then we're gonna land on here. And we refresh our resources by getting hit. And then I like to spin attack and then jump straight through that checkpoint and land here. Now, you will be on cycle with these lasers if you do this correctly. So I will just show you that in a second. Let's do this one more time. And then I'll try to show you the laser cycles, but honestly, if you get hit, it's fine. It's just a second. It's all gonna be good. So coming up, we're gonna again spin attack as soon as we launch. Then we're gonna jump right before these pillars, and then we're gonna jump, spin jump, boom, land on this railing, and then we're going to damage abuse off this enemy. I attack right before the last crane. Attack, jump, boom, attack, damn, and then you land right there, and then jump, spin jump through here. And then these will just line up very nicely for you if you hit this. And if you don't, you'll just have to kind of react to those guys there. But it's not the biggest deal to react to them. And then here, it's just pretty self-explanatory. This is where you have to triple jump. This is actually where the game teaches you that you can triple jump. Fun fact. And here, we're going to jump from this. We're going to keep our momentum and get around there. If you're struggling with that, you can just walk around, right? That's the beauty of this game, is if you're struggling with something, 99 times you can just walk around and make something easier for yourself, right? And not lose that much time for it. Here, we're just gonna kind of play we're just gonna play the level. This is pretty much just playing the level forehead. Here, what I like to do is collect all the cranes and then jump. That gives you perfect height to jump over the checkpoint and land on the green thing without hitting that guy. I like to jump from the pink here. So I skip both of these parts after I collect the pink crane. That's just my lineup for it. And then we're just gonna jump through these disappearing platforms. And then, fun fact about this is a wall. It's not a wall in any other level, but here,
interesting,
it's a wall. It's very annoying. I think it's just to help keep you on track because this is kind of hard to do. But for us, it's very annoying because normally we would just walk through it. But as you saw when I got over here, I double jumped because I'm jumping over this wall, right? So I'm going here, I'm double jumping over here, and then we're gonna jump, spin jump. Again, we're jumping over that wall, and then we're gonna go there. Again, if you want to make this part easier, you can just jump to the purple and just make sure you're not going to get walled off there, because you can just hit the wall and just fall and die, which is very unfortunate. But either way, we're just going to kind of make our way through. We're going to be cutting the track because, again, we don't want to land on the plants because that will just that'll cut our hyperspeed, right? So we want to maintain it as much as possible. Here, we're going to triple jump at the end here. We're going to keep that hyperspeed again by jumping right as soon as we land so we can maintain some more of that speed. And then that is the end of 7-1. Pretty, the beginning can be a bit scary, but the beginning is very consistent if you line it up with the cranes. That's what I like to do, is just line up all those things with cranes. Is be like, cranes is how I like to line things up. And you can just find more ways to line things up as you go through. And then remember how I said World 4 is the hardest world that you all do? So, 7-2 is probably the third hardest level you're going to do. Maybe the second hardest. You might find 4-1 a bit easier than this. But this is the Super Run Killer. Of course, we save the final level, and of course it's really hard, because why not? So why is this hard? So I'm just going to play the level, and I'm just going to kind of just explain while I'm going. So as you can see, we're starting in World 7, and the concept of this world is that we're going backwards through the world. So we're going to go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? And we're going to revisit the greatest hits from each level. I'm intentionally getting hit there, so that I slide through the second, what do you call it? The second laser. There, we're at the World 6 revisit, and then here we're going to go to the World 5 revisit. So there are two different ways that you can do this part. I will show you them later. For now, we're just going to do it the way I do it. Now, the reason I'm moving in this very specific pattern is because, again, we're revisiting all the worlds. Now, you can hear the music. The music has been playing the whole time, which guess what means? The platforms have been moving the whole time. So we are on a cycle currently. As soon as you load into this level, you are on the World 4 cycle, the World 4 revisit. So we're here now, and I'm here a bit sooner, so you're actually going to see me intentionally like kind of walk in a little circle there in order to hit those platforms to stay on cycle. But that is the hard part about this level, is that you are on cycle the whole time. So if you mess up any of those hard movements that I just showed, that I just kind of glossed over, if you mess up any of those, you're off cycle and you have to react to that specific portion of the level. Thankfully, those platforms are not the most intense thing to react to, unlike World 4 itself. But that is like a big reason, and it's also a big separator of like how much time you can save in this level. So right here, we have hyperspeed, and we're going to maintain that into these blue bubbles. And this is because blue bubbles maintain our hyperspeed, which is really good for us, because otherwise these would be moving really slow. But thankfully, we can keep our hyperspeed into the blue bubbles and then make our way over to this part. And then we're going to code through these blue bubbles, and then we're actually going to intentionally wait here, boom, until we start falling, and then we're going to do this because it gives us a bit more forward momentum in order to make it to those platforms. And then we're going to do this, smile, and then we're going to go here and we're going to do elevator skip, where we just hit the side of this elevator and we fall and die. This is because whenever you hit the elevators, fall and die, you activate the checkpoint above, and we death warp up and we skip a literal 20-second elevator ride. And I'm not lying to you, it's 20 seconds long. So that's the easiest skip you have in the game. Just hit the side of the elevator and die. Like, I can do that. And then you're just going to kind of just walk to the end, and this is the end of the level, and you will just hit the moon, and this is the end of the game. But let's break down that ridiculousness that was that level. So there are a lot of moving parts in this level. Again, you don't really need to concern yourself with the World 4 platform cycles. It just is a thing. I just wanted you to be aware of it. There is no beginner strats for this level. This is just the level where you just try not to die. Smile. I'm capable of dying. Hey, me too. So I like to attack here just because I feel like it gets me to the booster sooner. I don't know if it is or not. It just feels good. So here, this is the first big thing. So right here, you see that island off to the distance there. Now, what you saw me do the first time is that I flew through the checkpoint, like through the checkpoint, hit the golden mushroom, and then activated the tree branch. You all are not going to do that because what I'm doing saves like half a second, and it's really hard. So what you're going to do is you're going to do what Jax does and what most runners do, which is you're just going to simply jump and then just fall into it and miss it like me. I don't do this often, I'm sorry. But you're going to fall into it, hit the golden mushroom with your attack, and then you're going to fly forward to the railing. This is probably the hardest thing to do in the level, I would say, in my opinion. Just because it's a bit tricky to line it up. Again, we're intentionally getting hit here, so we don't have to jump over both of these, right? We can just get hit and then just slide through the second slide through the second laser. It just saves a bit of time. It's just a nice little optimization, which we didn't do for a very long time, actually. It's kind of funny. That's kind of a recent thing. But here, we're going to go over here. We're going to jump and then boop, land here, and we're going to pull back. And then we're going to land on that guy there. So that's cool and fun, right? Oh, crap. I forgot. So I'm going to hit the checkpoint this time, actually. Right there on that railing, since you're going forward with so much momentum and the railing is making you fly forward and be super speedy, basically whenever you jump off of that railing, you have to like pull back immediately in order to land on the booster. Otherwise you'll just go flying, which is fun, but not really what you want to do, because you're just going to go flying and then die, which, you know, it can be fun. But as you can see, it does that loop-de-loop, right, where it goes all the way around this loop, and so we're just kind of skipping that by just doing this. And again, you have 3 jumps there, so it should be pretty safe to go for and hit. A thing that can happen is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to replicate it, but this happens to be sometimes where, like, whenever you land on this railing here, get these guys out of the way. Whenever you land on this railing, sometimes you'll just like slide. Like if you're like on the very edge of it, sometimes you'll just like, boom, like right off. But if you do like slide right off and it looks like you just like slid off of it, you still have 2 jumps, so you should still be able to make it to that booster. I don't really know. It's kind of a random thing that happens sometimes, so I don't know how to really show it. But if you ever do kind of just like fall down, like literally like fall down diagonally off of this railing, you do have 2 jumps. If you ever touch the railing, you have at least 2 jumps, so you should always be able to make it to that booster, as long as you react fast enough. But that's just, I like how I spent that much time like explaining like a very, like a once in like 100 thing that happens. But hey, you know, it's fine. But again, we're just gonna jump on this, pull back, and then go here again, altering the booster, and then we're gonna skip one of the pink mushrooms, and then we're gonna go over here again. I like to guarantee my length with the spin attack, and then yeah, that is the big hard thing. So let's show it in sequence one more time. Again, a lot of this is just, you know, making sure that you have the proper timings as you go through here. And it's kind of just the name of the game, honestly. Again, intentionally getting hit so we don't have to stop our grind and jump twice. You can overshoot that, by the way. You can shoot all the way out into the darkness. But it's pretty easy to see, so you should be able to pull back if you're going too far forward there. Boop. So again, I still had a 3rd jump there, so even if I didn't make it all the way over, I still had a 3rd jump to work with. I only used 2 of my resources off that railing. So here, we're just going to kind of go here. Again, the railing is still there, even though it's invisible. And then we're going to alter the path here. And then we're going to go to this cycle. And since I am more on cycle, since I didn't save that half a second, we are on cycle, so you don't see me doing that like weird like out and back thing I did before. Now here, you can go to that platform, but I don't recommend it because that jump is pretty hard, and I just did it out of muscle memory last time. So you're just going to jump to that first thing, and then you're just going to kind of just react to these platforms. Just take it slow. If you take it slow and you don't die, you will save so much more time than if you die, obviously. Because if you've noticed, we have not hit a single checkpoint in this whole level, which is why this level is so brutal, because this is a very long level. We're 1 minute and 40 seconds into it, and if we die, we lose. Smile. So here, again, we keep hyperspeed into these blue bubbles. And so just to show you how abysmal these blue bubbles are, if you don't have hyperspeed, whoa, we are going super fast. And then we can't even skip an umbrella, right? So we have to take each umbrella, which is just horrendous, and we don't want to do that. but that is why we maintain hyperspeed into the blue bubbles, just because it saves a ton of time. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of time. So here we're gonna boop, we're just gonna do that. Smile. I'll show you a couple more ways to do that. The main reason I paused here is just so I can get this checkpoint so that I can show you this again. Now, unfortunately, we have to exist with these very slow blue bubbles, unfortunately, because there is no checkpoint. Because again, of course, checkpoints are they're also, like, checkpoints are not only scarce in this level, but they're also out of the way too. So we're gonna wait here until we start falling, and then we're gonna attack jump over here, and then from here you would just jump, maybe get hit by that guy, maybe not. But there's a couple of ways that you can do that launch. Yeah, there's a 0% chance that I can make it back to that launcher. I was gonna see if I can maybe jump back to it. So, we'll do it. We'll do it a couple more times. So that is the fastest way to do that, is just waiting on that arc to lower a bit. But you can take this in any variation possible. You can also just not go for any of these small platforms. So you can go for the second platform, you can go for the third platform, you can go for any of these on your launch, or or you can jump off, or or you can literally just not do it and just land, because this part of the level, it's actually, it saves a good amount of time, but it doesn't save the most amount of time, and it's kind of risky, because it's a bit hard to control your momentum and know exactly where you're going and where you're landing. But you can kind of like build your own adventure here. But you can even just do one of these and then just, I didn't lose that much time. I might have lost like maybe 3 seconds, something like that. Like it's really not punishing that much. And so here, I like to run on this railing, and I like to go from railing to railing. Now, this part, you don't have to do what I do here, because this is harder than it looks, because these platforms suck. You will just fall off like randomly. Like it doesn't look like you're on the edge, but you fall. So you have to be on like the dead center of these platforms. And so you can take them one by one. You can do whatever you like. I'm just gonna go ahead and restart the level, and we're gonna do this one more time. We're gonna do it in sequence. But this is the good old. Oh, you're nervous, by the way. Do this level with no mistakes, Smile, because if you have a mistake, you die. A good level to end the speed run off with. Just make sure you're that much more stressed. Locking in your PB. You know what I mean? Exactly what you want happening. Okay, this is unfortunate. So now I am off cycle. So I made that one mistake. I'm now off cycle for the platforms up ahead. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of reacting. But this is kind of good, because maybe one of you all will make the same mistake. So let's just do some reacting, shall we? And not reacting where I'm not pulling up a YouTube video. I'm playing a game. But again, right here, I like to use that attack to like have a set amount of forward momentum, so I know exactly how far I'm going in between those mushrooms. So here, I'm likely going to have to wait here. Maybe not. I'm actually a full cycle behind, so that's cool. We were actually perfectly slow, so we were a full cycle behind. Which is fine. So here, again, you can stall yourself in the air here with all three of your jumps. So you saw it wasn't underneath me, but it's fine because you can stall. You can also just wait, whatever you want to do, right? And then here, go here, jump on this guy here, and then simply just walk through World 3. Luckily, World 3 is pretty nice to us. And then once we get back into World 2, again, we're going to keep this hyperspeed all the way over here. And we're just going to, again, use our attack as soon as we get boosted to go straight into the bubble. There's no jumping there. It's just an attack. Should get you right to the bubble. We're going to skip the left umbrella, go straight over here. And then you can take that bouncy ball if you want. I just triple jump out here because it's faster. And then again, you can pick your own adventure here. I'm just going to show you the fastest strat to do. And then you can land on that and then just attack him. It just makes that a bit safer. Again, you can choose your own adventure on the platforms that you choose to get over here. But after you get launched, just make sure you hit the side of the elevator and fall. If you hit the side of the elevator and fall, you will skip the 20-second elevator ride, and then you simply just go and hit the moon, and that is the end of the run. Timer stops like when the screen turns to black. But we have an auto splitter for the game, so it's fine. I'm not going to hit the moon, but you just hit the moon in order to end the game. Just because I don't want to watch this cutscene or anything. So now we have about 15 minutes left on the teaching part. So I'm actually going to go back to a couple levels, and I'm going to show you all some advanced strats. These strats are things that you shouldn't be looking to use right as you get going, but maybe like stretch goals where you're like, that looks cool, maybe I can do that. And so I'm just going to show you the biggest time save first and the most flashy time save, which is in 5. So we're going to play around with this for a bit. Now, if you recall, there is a booster. There's a loop-de-loop that I told you all to skip last time, and there's a booster that boosts you to the platform. What we're going to do is we're actually not going to hit the booster. And you might be wondering, what do you mean we're not going to hit the booster? Like, are we just going to fall and die? No, we're not going to fall and die. And that is because the railing actually sticks out past the booster at the end of the level. And you'll see what I mean once I get there. In case you don't remember exactly what booster I'm talking about, let's just, we'll just get there first. Because it's at the end of the level. Of course, the hard skip is at the end of the level. Why not? Just really pour it on. But again, same movement throughout here. I like to jump there to cancel my vertical momentum so I can land on the ground sooner and just get more forward momentum rather than vertical momentum so I can cut down a bit on time here. I like to spin attack out of these boosters. I don't think it actually saves you time, but it saves time in my head, so that's what matters the most. So here, this is the part that we're going to be talking about. Again, also practicing this, very fun because there's no checkpoints between these two spots. So this is what I'm talking about. So you see that booster? That's the booster that we hit before. But what we're going to do instead is that we're going to jump, and then we're going to go past the booster onto the invisible railing, jump up here, and then die. Smile. No, we're going to try to hit the pink mushroom or on the ledge below, because again, you can stand on the ledge below. So I'll try to show that to you. Typically, you're going to want to go for the ledge because getting onto the pink mushroom is really difficult to do. It's very, very, very precise in order to actually land on the mushroom, which I believe, like, even in my current record, I land on the lip of the mushroom and not on the actual mushroom itself. So again, but luckily, you can actually see, right? You can see the railing sticking out there. Unfortunately for you all, I'm really good at the game, so that is the super ideal of what you want. And then you cut out all of the bottom track, and that saves, like, I think 10 seconds, 15 seconds. It's something ridiculous, like, for this game. And keep in mind, like, time saves for this game, like, if it's a 2-second time save, we're like, oh my god, that's a crazy time save. So 10 is a ton for this game because, like especially at top level, you're running, like, basically on your SOB, like, the whole time. So again, we're gonna jump over here. We're gonna go over the booster. Then we're gonna go here. I didn't quite get the height, but what I'm gonna do is you can just land right there, right? And then you can do the same thing where you go up here and then you go over here and you just get that massive speed launch. Now, if this is a bit too hard, there is a third method that is also faster than going on the booster. But again, since you're having to land on the railing, it's a bit difficult. And a couple things to note about railings too that I'll talk about in a second. But let's just show the third strat where you also land on the tree branch, but instead you just and you go all the way over there. And it's even flashier. And then you do the level as normal. Now, things to note about this railing if you're going to do this strat. This is the unfun part about this trick. Railings in this game, what's the meanest way I can say this? Suck. railings in this specific world are really bad. DK has patched these railings over and over and over and over again, which luckily when he launches, I think 1.5 or like whenever he launches the new patch with Excel, the railings are completely redone and they feel amazing. But we're not in that world. We're with these railings. So things that can happen with these railings is if you're going for this trick, you know how it sticks out? You can, maybe I can force it. I might be able to force it. Okay, maybe not. What can happen here is that you can hit the railing. I'm not joking. You can hit the railing. You cannot actually hit the railing and you can just float off. Like you'll not actually attach to the railing. Handle will just like hit and go and then just fall straight down. And it is ridiculous. It is abysmal because the tree branch just doesn't want to allow you to land sometimes. Now, this is mediated by a couple things. Running the game at 144 FPS. I don't really know why, but I've done extensive testing like myself on this because I was actually running into this issue when I ran this game for GDQ main event back in the summer for SGDQ 2023, where I was going for the railing strat, but I kept sliding off. And what I figured out once I got back home is that all the setups were capped and running at 60 FPS there. And so that was actually making this trick way harder to do because I came back and I could kind of replicate it on my setup, but I run at like probably more than 144 hertz. I probably run at like 300 FPS. I have a good computer, unlucky. But like I run at a very high frame rate, which makes landing on the railing more consistent. Which kind of sucks if you're on lower end hardware or if you're running on Switch. But there are things to mediate this. So, like basically the thing is that if you're running on really high frame rates for this trick, it is easier to land on the railing. But I did find a specific strat to go for when you're landing on the railing specifically. So when you're landing on the railing, you're kind of like I'm gonna pause. You're kind of going like out as you're going and you're kind of pulling back a little bit. But whenever you're aiming and going like out, back, left, right, whatever you need to do in order to line yourself up with the railing, when you land on that railing, release the control stick. You're going to want the control stick to be neutral. If the control stick is neutral, you have a incredibly higher chance of latching onto the railing. Like an infinitely higher chance. So we're going to see if I can kind of just force this. Okay, I can't. Sorry. But it does happen a lot. Like everyone that has learned this trick has run into the problem where the railing will not accept you and it will just throw you off a cliff. Unfortunately, it's not a very accepting railing. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate. Excuse me, unfortunate. But this is what I'm doing when I'm going for this railing, just to ensure that I get more on it. Is that I release to neutral and then I land on it. And then I go for the spin jump, and then up here. Things to note, going back to just this trick is hard. Things to note is that if you go for pink mushroom bounce, if you miss it, there is a very high percentage chance that you just die, Smile. But you can save it. if you realize that you're not going to hit it soon enough, you can actually like veer off to the right and save it. I'm going to see if I can show that back up to you. Like, let's say I'm not making that, you know, I can go over there and die. Cool. you can see the vision. You can see the vision. You can, the vision is there. Okay. Like, yeah, guys, you could save it. Doesn't save it. Firm handshakes, everyone. But yeah. That being said, this is one of the hardest tricks in the game, but it's not the hardest thing you can do in the run, unfortunately. That saves time. But like right there, sometimes you can be too far to the right. You can just simply fall off, right, and not get it. But it saves 10 seconds, which is the largest time save. Wait, hold on. Yes. This skip is the largest time save that you can take from the advanced route. Like the largest single time save you can take from the advanced route. Because everything else is just a lot of little stuff or big stuff, depending. But I'll try to hit it one more time. The fans. Ooh, got the full thing, baby. There we go. And then you're just up at the end of the rail. Again, this is the difference between getting a 202 in this level and getting a 152. It's massive, and it's also just cool and fun, which is also important. It's just cool and fun to do. Other big hard time saves. I'm going to show one more just because I think this just looks ridiculous, but it's actually easier than it looks. And I'll discuss it. So this is back in 5.2 where I said this is kind of a sleeper level. Well, I kind of lied because there's one thing that saves 4 seconds in this level right at the beginning. So we're going to go over here. We're going to do this, and then we're going to jump up here, and then we're just going to jump on this tiny ledge. Hee hee. This, if you are able to see it, it's this like right side of this ledge. It's pretty small. Well, I died. It's pretty small, but it's honestly easier to hit than it looks because you're going to be hitting it in sequence. If you're just trying to land on it and stand on it, it's much harder, obviously. But if you are, okay, cool, man. But if you are. Oh boy. But if you are just going through it like with a full motion, it's a lot easier than it looks. It's still hard and precise, but it's more doable than 5.1, for example. So I'm actually going to grab this checkpoint just so I can show this. Actually, I'm going to grab this checkpoint just so I can show this a bit faster. I'm going to just go ahead and grab that. So again, what we're going to do is going to spin it over here. And then you're going to do that. Smile. And that saves 4 seconds, which is actually, I think, the second biggest time save that you can do in the run, if I recall correctly. Well, okay. This is all not including 6.1, which we will not talk about. Just because it's impossible for me. So it's definitely impossible for you. is kind of where we are at with 6.1. So we're just going to pretend it doesn't exist. But it's just a nice, cute time save that you can do where you can kind of just like ride along into it and kind of just like force yourself into that little nook. And it just saves you 4 seconds rather than having to jump out and around this whole thing. Obviously, it's a bit difficult, but that's what advanced strats are. They are a bit difficult. That's kind of the purpose of them. But those are like 2 big time saves that you can look to like introduce into your run. But I think that's the 2-hour mark, I believe. So we can just hop into a run, unless we're doing a break. I don't know necessarily what we're doing with this, but I can just do the run now.
If you're done with the tutorial, we can take a quick break here before we get into the run.
Word. Well, then that's the tutorial. Some fun advanced stuff that you all got to see, but this game is actually very, like, the skill floor in this game is like really, really low, and it's one of the easiest games to pick up in my opinion. I remember when I was first learning this, I just like, you just get to like learn and play really quickly, especially since once you've beaten the game, like I have, you can just select levels and you can IL practice. You can use checkpoints and practice specific places in each level, and you can infinitely reset the checkpoints. It's just a lot of tools in the game that easily allow you to practice. And then also you can just look at IL timings and be like, okay, what are these guys doing? You know, I'm getting like a 45 and 1-1. How can I get this like 42 that like Plush is getting? The answer is you're probably not getting it, but because that guy's insane. But you know, you can take some things and be like, you know, maybe if I get within like 2 seconds of the ILs, that's like really good. You know what I mean? But it's just really easy to pick up, really fun to learn, and also the game is $5, and it's also just a fun game. So even if you don't want to speedrun the game, like, just play it. It's just a good, nice, fun game.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I was just going to say... okay, excellent. I was just going to say, yeah, like, watching you teach it, it looked like pretty much every level was like, for the most part, there was like, okay, you can just not do this and walk around. It'll be a little bit slower, but you'll get there eventually. Mm-hmm. Like, you will be able to do this. It might be slightly slower. This is how we do it, and if it doesn't work for you, well, you'll figure something else out. But these are the faster ways, kind of thing. Which I think is
there's
really
a lot of
neat.
freedom, you know, a lot of freedom of expression, and just, you know, you don't have to be super sweaty to enjoy a speedrun either, by the way. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, let me do all these super hard strats. Like, you don't have to be me. I'm a sicko. I really like being competitive. But like, it's also just fun to just speedrun a game just for a bit, just to have fun, learn the strats, and, you know, move on.
Yeah, and it definitely has the kind of skill floor where it is very easy to start, and then you can just keep doing runs until you get to the point where you can do the hard strats. You don't have to worry about some like triple frame perfect jump just to complete a run. You just get to do a run.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could talk about stuff like this all night.
All night, of course we.
We're gonna take a quick break, everybody, before we do a run of the game, and then we're gonna watch Nastani do a full run through so we can see it at pace. We'll be right back, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Game Zone Quick Hotfix. This is How to Train a Speedrunner. We just watched a tutorial on how to actually speedrun Lunistice, and now we're going to have Nastani do a run at full speed so we can see it, you know, from start to end. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. You can take it away.
Alrighty. Alright, again, this is any percent glitchless. I did just show you the tutorial with all the beginner strats, but now we're going to swag out a bit, and I'm just going to show you the whole run, like how I would do it. Because I think that's fun. And also because you can just kind of autofill and be like, okay, don't do that. It's too hard, you know? So again, we start from a fresh save file. So you want to delete, just have a fresh save. And this is how we're going to start to run. And we're going to start it with a, what do you call it? By skipping a cutscene. And then I will count down to when the game starts, because the game starts when we gain control of our character. So I'm going to go ahead and press start, and we're going to get a countdown. So about 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Crystal Jump, which I did not show before, but it saves about half a second over that, and then you can also just jump on that railing and then just skip that whole section in the beginning, which saves probably about 1 to 2 seconds over what I showed you in the beginner strats. And then everything else is just kind of similar. Very, you know, there's only so much you can speed up in this level, unfortunately. But we're just gonna kind of just make our way on over here. And then we should end this with ideally a high 42, but we're probably gonna get a 43 here because I played it a bit safe. Gonna get probably a 43 3x, 4x. Oh, 9, I'm stupid. Unlucky. And what you'll also notice is that on a fresh save file, you don't have to choose Act 2. Act 2 automatically begins. So from like World 1-1, when you go to 1-2, it automatically begins. So you don't have to select the level. You just keep it pushing, you know. And then I'm gonna not die there. I've been loving to just fall off and die there recently because, you know, why die at like the hard stuff when I could just die to basic platforming? I think that's the true Lunistice experience. Like everyone will just die to basic platforming no matter your skill level. You're like, oh, I just missed this ledge. Unfortunate. But again, in the spirit of this game, a lot of things that you can do is just make it yourself. We talked about it a lot, but there's a lot of freedom in this run. And obviously, any little thing you can do to make it more consistent, to make sure you're getting through the level is welcome, right? Or just having fun, right? Because some strats just you might not be having fun with, where you're like, this is too hard for me. I don't feel like doing that. You know what I mean? And that is okay, you know? But, so that is World 1, pretty close to the timings that you want. 107 is pretty good. 43 is also really good as well. So a strong start. Again, this game is timed with in-game time, or IGT, which the game will also tell you at the end of the run, and you actually verify the run at the end of it as well by showing your in-game time file, and that's just kind of a way to verify. But you can also verify it with the auto splitter as well. Either or. Because we do have an auto splitter for this game, which makes it so fun and easy to run. I remember I went back to run a game without an auto splitter after this, and I was just like, I have to split again? I just couldn't remember to split. I was so spoiled by like 8 months of this game, which just being like, I don't have to split anymore. It just does it for me, which is very nice. But here we're going to do a bit of an advanced strat. Well, hopefully we land on this guy here and we do a simple but effective cut there. It probably saves maybe a second. I don't know if it actually saves that much, but it definitely saves time over the other way. Just because, again, I'm going to be trying to save time by just cutting corners as much as possible. Because, again, we don't have really any intense movement strats rather than a vertical movement. So a lot of the time you're going to save is just from corner cutting, right? And then on to 2-2. I'm not going to make the same joke. I almost did. Oh, well, there we go. You can spin bounce a bit too early, and you won't actually get the spin bounce. So that's what I just did there. In case you're wondering why I didn't get the height, is that I just didn't jump soon enough. Here's some swag jump. This is the actual strat. And it's really swag. And then, unfortunately, you go from super swag directly into blue bubbles, which it might be the most unswag thing in the game because you don't have control of your character. You're just going through the bubbles. Again, you're going to see me actively avoiding checkpoints in order to maintain. What do you call it? In order to maintain as much straight lining as possible. But again, you can take any checkpoints because you probably won't even lose half a second. But the thing is that when you are at super top level in this game, half a second matters, which is kind of ridiculous that we're at that point already, and this game has only been out for about a year, and we're already like, seconds matter. There is a strat here that I normally do. Unfortunately, I'm not in shape right now, and I'm a little rusty, so I'm not going for it. But normally, I would jump off of that branch down there, but I'm just taking it a bit safer, just because why not, you know? I don't have the most confidence, unfortunately, but you know, I still have all the knowledge, which is good for me. It's just make sure my hands remember. That's another thing, you know. But we're gonna make our way through here. Pretty solid. I think we're gonna get a 50. Ooh, barely a 50. But still very nice. All of these timings are pretty much exactly what we're wanting to look for when we're doing the strats that I'm doing. And so Here's where you're going to see a bit more divergence from what I just taught you all, is in these next couple levels. But 3-1 starts out pretty much the same, where we're just going to go to this crystal here. But instead of going on that tree, I'm just going to do this, just because it saves probably not even that much time, but it saves a little time, so I'm doing it, which is kind of the name of the game. And then here, what we normally do here for the advance is that we're going to land on this tiny railing. Like that. Smile. I had you land on the tree because, again, the tree is very safe to land on, and you won't lose your run instantly if you miss it, right? You'll just land on the ground. But if you miss that, you die, Smile. And it's also, like, not that... It's again another very minimal time save, like a second, 2 seconds maybe, and that's like going to be a reoccurring theme. Is that a lot of time saves that we do in the advanced route are like 1 to 2 second time saves for like a very much higher execution floor. But the thing about it is that if you think about it, if I save 1 second in every single level, that's 14 seconds because there's 14 levels, right? So it adds up really quickly. But, you know, we're nickel and diamond things when we don't really need to be, you know. Again, loop-de-loop skip, very fun, very flashy. This should 44, maybe 43 if I'm sick. Probably not, though. Maybe. I'm sick. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
High 43. That's exactly what you want there. And then 3-2, hopefully we hit this, Smile, and not mess it up, Smile. No matter your skill level, you will mess up this trick from time to time. Unfortunately, I said but I guess, yeah, unfortunately I didn't mess it up. Fortunately, I didn't mess it up, rather. Man, I really wanted to miss that trick there.
I really wanted to go slower in this game.
I really wanted to fall off and die. I think that would have been cool. Yeah, this is 3-2. This is a really fun level just because we literally just get to beat this level in under a minute, which is just swag. Like, come on, like it's just very nice. And we're already at the end. It's just that easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's just that easy, you know. But we should end with probably a 57. Nice. I thought it might have been a 58, but it was a 57. I guess my muscle memory is not failing me as much as I thought it would. For now, Smile. Welcome to World 4. This is going to be the same cycle I showed you in the tutorial, except that I'm going to be going for the blue platform at the end rather than the red platform. Again, the difference between what I'm doing and what I taught you is 1 second. So don't stress that much about it. You know, there's other time saves you can add before you mess around with this level. Again, a big thing about this level is everything is on a set cycle. So as long as you move in the exact same way every single time, the level will move in the level will always move in the exact same way every time. But if you move in the exact same way every time, you won't die. You know what I mean? You'll line up with all the cycles perfectly and everything will be fine. In theory, you shouldn't be losing like any time on these levels besides maybe like a 10th of a second or something like that, you know, just to random, like maybe not having the straightest line somewhere, you know, just a lot of random stuff can happen. But here, again, you're going to see me drop a low so I can touch that blue platform on the back side of it right before it disappears. And then we're going to go through and then we're going to get a 118 at the end of this because one good thing about World 4 is that even though it is cycle-based, it is, if you can hit the cycle, it's the most consistent level, right? There's very little time save, very little wee wobble that'll happen in this. So here's 4-2. Which hopefully I will not mess up, Smile.
I believe.
I was too slow. That is 4-2 red cycle. If you are too slow, you die. And your run ends. And so what you'll see me do here is, since I messed it up, I'm actually going to restart the level so I'm on cycle rather than trying to freehand the level, because that'll actually save me more time than if I didn't. This is the advanced strat, and believe it or not, this only saves 3 seconds, Smile. Even though it's way harder. But that's kind of the thing, is that you're going to do something way harder for like a couple seconds of time save. And you're like, is this really like worth it? It's like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, you know. Because that platform disappears right as you get to it. So it's actually a really tight cycle. I knew I was a little bit slow going into that last time, but I just wanted to go for it, and I thought I could mediate it a bit. I could not, Smile, but it's fine. But that is pretty much the difficult part of the level, and now we kind of just line up with the beginner strats here, except just on a way nicer cycle, because I won't have to pause for these spikes like I did for in the beginner cycle. Here we just go straight on, and everything lines up beautifully for us if we hit that red cycle at the very, very beginning. So again, I'm going to get a 152 in this level rather than a 155. You know, permitting I don't mess anything up, but normally I don't from this point on. Knock on wood. There's no wood around me. I'm going to die. But all, you know, that blue wall is just perfectly out of our way. Everything just kind of lines up beautifully. And then we're going to do crystal jump here. Boop. And then we're just going to line up again with the beginner route and make our way on out of here. Again, World 4 is 4-2 specifically is the biggest run killer, because it is just a pile of ridiculousness. Yeah, exactly. Risk 45 seconds to save 3 seconds. That's literally what I did. That is literally the play. But hey, you get a 152, and that's 3 seconds. That's huge. We love that. And then on to World 5. Again, I already showed you all the advanced strats in this level, so nothing's gonna really surprise you in this level, but it still is swag. Also, I just love the music in this level as well. Just a big fan. I just like this game. Like, believe it or not, I like the game. I know it's popular for speedrunners to be like, man, I hate this game, but I don't. I love this game, dude. It's so sick. We're gonna spin bounce off of that, hit this, and then we're gonna make our way through. And gonna go for the same strats as we went for last time, except all that's different is that you just see my exact setup that I go for every single time. And that's kind of what you're seeing, is that I'm doing a lot of the same strats that even the beginner route does. It's just that I go into them with very specific like setups for pretty much everything, is I have like an idea of how I want to approach it to get it the most consistent every single time. It is a thing to note that I'm not doing necessarily the fastest things possible every single time. That's because I'm a full game runner. I'm not an IL runner. So I go for the most consistent things for me. But in theory, like, I'm within a second of pretty much every IL runner's time, which is very good. So I'm happy with that. And I can pretty much consistently stay in that range. All right, cool. We hit it. Huge. We love hitting that, because if you miss it, you die, Smile, or you just lose out on a ton of time, which might as well be dying. But we get a 52 here rather than a 202. A runner that likes their speed game? What? Never before seen. Well, everyone hates the railings. All right, the railings are just a bit of pain and suffering, but you know, at least we understand them more now, even though it won't matter because we always run on current back. Again, we're gonna collect 3 trains and then spin. Boop. Right before the last one, spin jump off of that. And then I'm gonna do, again, the strat that I showed you here. Four seconds saved, easy clap. And then we're just gonna move right along. Again, we're gonna intentionally get this checkpoint in case you forgot, because we're going to checkpoint of view so we can skip some backtracking. Because the casual path of this level is, hello, truck outside. The casual path of this level is to hit that golden mushroom and go back to the center platform and then go across the 3 branching paths. Obviously, we don't want to do that because it is slower. So we're just going to take the branching paths which connect with this pink mushroom. Fun fact, this is actually a very new addition to the speedrun. We used to do a completely different pathing here, but because that pink mushroom exists, doing that shortcut saves about 2 seconds for nothing, right? It's just a super easy pathing change. Like, you're not gonna die to that mushroom. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but like, you're not really gonna die to that mushroom, right? So it's just a free 2 seconds that we actually got to save, thanks to, I believe, Gavin as well. And pretty much everything you see me do in World 5 that is hard to do, like that underneath the mushroom thing, the mushroom jump with the railing, all of that was found by Gavin. Just shout outs to him again. He's found so much stuff. He is the reason that a 24 is possible, and the reason I have a 24 in this game. So right there, we're just saving momentum there, right into the tree branch. We're gonna again checkpoint abuse yet again back here after we get that tier, and then we're gonna get the final tier. And this is what I was talking about before, where we're going to go out and around that launcher because it actually saves us time, because we can land right here at the foot of this and then get in around 227 to 228. And then shoot us out. That was really bad momentum conservation for me. You should be able to get way further than that, but I did not. Here, we actually intentionally grind on air there to fall down onto this railing. You don't need to jump there. The railing extends further out than it does. This one, however, does not, but we still fall just so we can hit the hyperspeed platform as soon as possible. And again, using the spin attack to make sure I'm going the same amount of distance every single time across those mushrooms. Again, very popular thing that I like to do. Makes just a lot of things easier. And then we're going to get out of here with like a 314, 315. Ooh, 316. Oh no, 315, let's go. Oh, yeah. The music is out of sync. So if you hit a crystal and then pause and reset the checkpoint, it causes the music to skip. And if you activate them, or it's either that, or if it's like, or if you activate them like too quickly, like if you activate it too quickly back to back. I don't really know. Smile. But it's one of those two things. But yeah, if you play the level normally, the music works perfectly, and it lines up and everything. But yeah, I forgot to mention that. But that is just a funny thing that happens. But this is 6-1. Now, this is the level that I was talking about that I said we're not going to talk about. And that is because there is a specific strat that is a lot of frame perfects with a lot of just, it's a lot, and we're not doing it because whenever I was running this game, I would do 500 attempts of the trick a day, and I probably wouldn't hit it 10 times. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do basically the same thing that I taught you, because it is insane what we do. And if you want to see what we do, you can just watch my current world record, which has the skip in it. But we're just gonna take the not the casual pathing, but the speedrun, the normal speedrun pathing there. That's the jump that I said that you're not gonna do. But yeah, just saves a bit of time. Again, really hard jump. Probably not saving that much time. Maybe like a second again. So you can substitute that with, an easier jump like I showed you before, which is just the beauty of the game in general. You can just substitute a lot of the things with just your own strats. You know what I mean? You don't technically have to follow anyone else's rules for the most part, unless you're doing specific skips like 3-2. Yeah, Crystal Jump, for example. Full game runs are timed with in-game time, so IGT. Yeah, and the timer pauses. So like we have an auto splitter. The timer pauses like in between menus, so you can actually you can pause. Like I did this one time where I paused the game in the middle of the level, went and did laundry, and then kept doing the run. just because I thought it would be funny. and then I kept going.
I love it.
And actually, one of my previous world records, since it also pauses like in between menus because it's only going like in the game, I was like talking about like something, and I literally like paused my run. This was during a record run. I literally like was in between levels, and I was just talking about stuff. Just not playing the game because I was like, I'm not gonna get record on this run. I was playing bad that night. I was like, I'm just gonna talk to my chat. Be a little entertaining. Then there's literally like 2 minutes in one of my old records where I'm just talking. No gameplay is happening. We're like, cool. But that's the beauty of IGT, because it's also like if you're a streamer, it's very easy to run games with IGT because you can literally pause, read your chat, talk to your chat. You can do it. Just makes it a bit easier rather than trying to do it like while entering like doors or specific loading times or whatever. On the go! That's really hard to do. So nice. That is we don't really have a name for that, but that's basically like 6-2 checkpoint skip, even though we skipped the checkpoint regardless. But that essentially it saves 2 seconds. Smile. And it's really hard to do. Essentially, you need max length of coyote frames. So like running off the edge, you need max length of coyote frames. You need a max height jump and spin jump with the perfect angle to get on that lip that's like edging away from you. And if you do that, you save 2 seconds, you get a 157. It's really cool. And you save a lot of time. I did not hit that in my run. That is actually the one skip that I did not hit in my record run. It has everything else besides that one. Fun fact, because that skip is really hard. Because it's just because you're going so fast, and it's just a lot. It's not as hard as 6-1, but that's neither here nor there. And I totally did not get lucky in 6-1. Nah, it was all me. Smile. Oh, that's something. I've never done that before. I hit my head there. That worked out. It was still fine. I had a second there where I thought I was about to die, but it's all good. Gonna do this damage abuse and make our way on out. So these will be on a slightly different cycle, so I'm actually gonna have to react to these lasers a bit. But luckily, I'm still close enough on cycle that they basically I don't have to avoid them pretty much. Sometimes you have to do some fancy footwork around those lasers if you're on a different cycle, but they're pretty easy to avoid for the most part. And if you hit them, you just lose a second. As with if you hit any enemy in this game, you lose a second. Slow down your words. Come on, speak with your words, with your mouth. Excuse me. Here we're just gonna spin dash just to maintain more speed from the hyperspeed yet again, and then land on the railing. We do that on every single launcher for the most part. I like how I say we do that on every single launcher, but I'm not going to do that on this one because I'm going to intentionally collect all the cranes here in order to line up this jump so that I clear over the top of the checkpoint, not hit the lasers above me, and not hit the guy, little spiky boy there either. But for the most part, we do just attack after booster so we can maintain some more of that speed. And so, it's hard to speedrun English. Truing. Again, this is what we do. Again, you can just get absolutely walled out by those walls and just fall to the side, which is why you see me do a spin jump to arc over the top of these green light walls, because again, this is the only level in the game where the walls actually wall you out. pretty nice. 34 maybe? Oh, come on. You got to give me that, God. A 3502, like surely I couldn't get like a 34, you know, whatever. Anyway, this is the last level of the run. Again, very scary because if you mess up anything on this level, your run is basically dead. Now, this run is already dead, smile, because I died in 4-2. But again, you're just going to lose a ton of time if you die in this level. But again, we're going to intentionally damage abuse on here so we can use the iframes to get through the second lasers there. Just saves a bit of time. And then we're just going to go on through here. And hopefully we hit the skip. Smile. A little slow, but that's fine. So I was a little slow on that because I went over the top of the checkpoint, but it should be fine because if you're a little slow, you're just more on cycle, right? A lot of the times I like to be ahead of cycle here, so I do like that little like out and about motion, so I don't have to wait. But here, as you can see, the platforms just line up so that I don't have to wait. So you have a little bit of weeble wobble in this level. And these platforms should line up beautifully if you do everything correctly, and then you're out of World 4 platform hell. I know everyone missed World 4, but of course it has to come back in the final level because why not? You know, why you thought you were out and then you're just back. We are so back. But again, keeping the hyperspeed into these blue bubbles, so we just zoom on because they carry our hyperspeed, which is very nice for us. We can skip one of these umbrellas. Unfortunately, we can't skip to the third one. You will just fall and die if you attempt it, which is very sad. I think the umbrella should be moved slightly closer to me so that I can hit that, but you know, it's neither here nor there. Okay, I almost died, smile. And that's how quickly your life can flash before your eye in this. Man, that's pretty good. That'll be a 220 hit on the elevator, which is very nice. Typically, I want to get a 219 there hitting the elevator, but 220 will take it. It's a 1 second. It's 1 second. It's fine. But yeah, and that's Lunistice any percent with all the advanced strats minus 6-1 crystal jump because again, ridiculous. That's all the swag. This is what you can build yourself up to. But again, there's no reason to start here. This game is really easy to just kind of make up your own route, make up your own stuff to just figure out. Oh, and time. I forgot to mention time is at the black screen. We're off, but we time with IGT anyway. So let's go ahead and see what that time is. 25:44. That's actually really good, even with the deaths and World 4. That's still a 25-minute time. That's insane. I really thought that was gonna be a 26. But yeah, and that's Lunistice 70% glitchless. Again, if you want to learn this game with the tutorial, it's really easy to pick up this game. The floor is really low, but the skill ceiling is also very high in this game. So there's a lot of levels of skill expression, and it's just fun to play. Like even if you are not really a speedrunner, you're not interested in speedrunning, like this game is just fun to play. I just recommend it as a game. It just also happens the speedrun's also really cool. And then my name's Sistani. I stream when I'm addicted to a game. I normally stream about 6 days a week. I'm kind of in between games right now, so streams are not really happening right now. But once I find another game that I really want to invest some more time into, I'll be on basically every day because that's how my brain works. But yeah, and then I also have an actual like more slowed down 80% beginner tutorial on my YouTube channel too that exists. That goes into more detail with a couple of things, but for the most part, it's kind of the same thing that I did here, except just more cut up. It's but yeah, and then I think that's all I really have to say. I think I'm good.
Awesome. I want to say a huge thank you to you. It's awesome to have people who are so passionate about their games come on, teach the games. And I mean, this game, it looks super simple. You made it look so easy, and you did a very good job, you know, explaining everything and showing people that this is like a super easy a game to get into. And it looks fun as heck. It looks like a
It
very
is fun.
game to play.
It is really
So,
fun.
I want to say a huge thank you to you. Awesome to have you on. Thank you so much for teaching. That is
Thank you for
all
having
we
me
have. That is all the show we have for tonight. We are going to have more shows for you tomorrow. We have Arcade Pit starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then after that we have Speedruns from the Crypt at 10 p.m.-ish Eastern. We will see you then. We're going to take a quick break while we look for somebody to raid, so if you wouldn't mind sticking around just to cheer somebody else on in their speedruns, that would be awesome. Have a good night, everybody.